SeatGeek, Airbnb, and other ticketing agencies are joining President Biden announcing new commitments to eliminate so-called junk fees and improve purchasing agreements for customers. SeatGeek, which sells primary and secondary market tickets, will roll out all-in pricing. Airbnb,
Hi, it's me, Annie. Hi.
All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Today's YouTube live chat poll is, do you think the 2024 GOP vice president candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? This is a super interesting question to me. I can't wait to answer it myself and see what the rest of you think on it as well. So do you think the 2024 GOP vice president candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no?
And I don't know if you know this or have been paying attention, but in the last roughly 7 days, there have been some legal questions.
Just a couple.
There have been some charges made, literally. And
allegations leveled.
Allegations leveled. Thank you, Brad. And so Hans von Spakovsky is going to clear everything up at 12:25. If you leave that segment and you don't know what's going on, that is your fault.
There really has been so much legal talk going on that I don't know what majority of it means. So hopefully he breaks that down for us.
There are words that people use now that are just, I had never used them before this year. Like, oh, well, once that goes through the process of discovery, like I don't have any idea what that means. But it sounds like, oh, I do when I say it.
Talking about phrases we're unsure of.
Yeah.
Wiggins America today, you're going to be talking about phrases you may be using that aren't cool anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in for this.
Well, some of them, I want to know whether you've even heard them. Because they're things that I think, are a little more specific to our generation that we may be using that they say, no, those aren't cool anymore.
Ryan, I know this, I don't want to steal your thunder, but the bee's knees and the cat's meow, definitely not cool anymore.
Yeah, well, that's going to be that's a 20s thing, but not this century.
I need you to stop using that around the office.
Okay. Actually, that might be back. That's gone around probably 4 or 5 times.
I have a feeling I know how that segment's going to go. But anyway, at 1:05, we hope to connect with Tyrus. And then at 1:25, my Secretary of State in Missouri, Jay Ashcroft, is going to join the show.
This is a strong claim. You're right. I'm just saying, correct. My Secretary of State.
Yes.
It's
what is
correct.
he going to talk to us about, Ryan?
It's correct. Some of the, let's just put it under the category of book bans, because that's what the left likes to say. Stuff about libraries in Missouri. Legislation that's working its way through right now.
So that will be at 1:25, Jay Ashcroft. 2:25, Trisha Siekman Everding is going to come into the studio to play Annie, Are You Okay? I am super excited for that. So pretty packed show, super excited for it. Hans at 12:25, Wiggins America 12:45, 1:05 Tyrus, 1:25 Jay Ashcroft, 2:25 Annie, Are You Okay?
Okay.
Operated since 1968, and if you have their sign in your front yard, it's a sign you have the very best. Stop by their showroom in Chesterfield. Take a look at their beautiful wood and vinyl fences. If you need a deck, they have the beautiful cedar, of course, but that Vecadec vinyl decking, no maintenance. It's fantastic. They've got lots of great deals. 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. When you mention you heard Mark Cox talking about this, they have custom sunrooms, screen rooms, pergolas, patios, even retaining walls they can work on for you. And of course, Better Business Bureau accredited business with an A+ rating. Call them today at 636-532-4054 or go online at chesterfieldfence.com.
If you're looking for Ruler Foods closest to you, go to rulerfoods.com and you're going to find options, lots of options across the St. Louis bi-state region. I shop at the Collinsville one. My husband just went there a couple days ago and brought home a haul of groceries, and he was geeking out about how much money he saved. Think about what you are wanting to cook in the summertime. How about a Boston butt pork roast, spare ribs, boneless half pork loin, $1.67 a pound. 73% lean ground beef. Kroger sold in 3-pound rolls, $2.99 a pound. seedless watermelons or Athena cantaloupe, $2.97 each. We love the produce that we get at our Ruler Foods, so you can get whatever you need when you go shopping there, but you are going to have to save some money. That's just the cost of doing business at Ruler Foods is it's cheaper every single time. You can check out Ruler Foods for their low prices every single day. They have those Kroger quality brands at Ruler Foods low prices. And you can go online and look at their flyers that they have, but you can just go stop by and you're going to save money. And there are going to be things that you're going to save money on that I'm not even allowed to talk to you about in these ads. Just go online to rulerfoods.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. Have questions after being injured in an accident? We'll match you with the Onder Law team that's right for you and your case.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. Cut up six-pack rings and reduce your use of plastic to keep it out of waterways and oceans. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Selling your home? Every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. My friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out the only agents I trust. Go to thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And yet with all those problems, he has a real serious fixation on the state of Florida. I mean, I think it's just bizarre that he does that. But what I would tell him is, you know what? Stop pussyfooting around. Are you gonna throw your hat in the ring and challenge Joe? Are you going to get in and do it, or are you just going to sit on the sidelines and chirp? So why don't you throw your hat in the ring, and then we'll go ahead and talk about what's happening. So
I didn't know that they allowed that language in Florida anymore. I thought DeSantis totally would have just canceled a word like that. So DeSantis getting a little spicy around Gavin Newsom, which is a smart move because the idea that Democrats don't want Joe Biden to be their nominee in 2024 is not an endorsement of Joe Biden. And I really can't understand why he's doing so
We're going to win and we're going to help. We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. We have plans to build in Angola.
Huge if true. That's a big railroad. What are we going to do with that railroad? Is it going to...
I was just struggling to think of something clever to say about it.
It's hard. It's hard to shore that up.
Yeah. From the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean, huh?
Yeah. That's the wrong direction.
Does he know how railroads work? He understands those are like, trains with
wheels. What? You got to think outside the box. Maybe we don't know how railroads in the future work. Maybe where we're going, we don't need roads. I was pretty sure, just going to be honest. And I challenge you to be honest with yourself as well. I was pretty sure I knew where the Indian Ocean was. It is connected to the Pacific Ocean, just on the other side of the eastern part of the world.
I don't even get it, because that's like not by the United States at all.
Where are we going on this railroad? Why did he say that? Did he say, was it supposed to be, real question, maybe it was that we were going to build a railroad from the Pacific coast to Indiana? And he just, or the Pacific Ocean. Is there a reason?
We already have that one in the United States.
Highways.
Let me venture a guess, and we'll see how close I am to this because I'm not really sure. What if he meant from the Pacific coast in Asia to the Indian Ocean or India to help that area to kind of counter the Belt and Road
Is that going to be American tax dollars? What the hell?
Apparently.
I don't know, but I am saying this in full open deference and honesty that when you talk all the time for a living, sometimes things come out wrong. Sometimes you say things. I'll give you a perfect example. We were at a baseball game last night, and I was sitting with some of the moms talking, trying to distract myself so I didn't act like an idiot. And probably didn't work. I was sitting there, and I was talking, and I said something about the last time I had referred to the last time we played this team, we were trying to figure out which one of our kids pitched or something like that. And I go, oh, yeah, when we played last night, blah, 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 blah. And I freaked the heck out of this mom because we didn't have a game last night. But I meant last time. And she like stopped and we're sitting on the bleacher. She's in the bleacher in front of me. She turns around and she looks at me and like lost her breath. And she thought that she just forgot to take her kid to a game. She goes, we had a game last night? And I'm like, no, the last time we played them. She goes, oh, I thought you said last night. Oh, and I go, oh, I'm sure that I did. I'm sure that I did. If you speak with the frequency that I speak on the air publicly, 15 hours a week, does Biden talk that much publicly? I don't even know.
15 minutes.
It's not a lot. He's in front of people a lot. Just because we don't see him on television or hear him or whatever doesn't mean he's not engaging in people. But he's going to make mistakes. Well, you got to understand the difference between me saying something like that on the bleachers at a baseball game or even saying something here. I'll say stuff that my mind is already 10 steps ahead of where my mouth is, which is great and terrible at the same time. Joe Biden makes these mistakes regularly, frequently, and he struggles. So it's just in the broader context of this guy didn't have it. So when Ron DeSantis comes out and he's poking at Gavin Newsom, like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Which just sounds like my Evelyn, my 7-year-old. She just repeats things. He's trying to get under the skin of Gavin Newsom. And I'm sure Gavin Newsom is like, I would like to do something about it right now. But he can't. Because if he comes out and says, yeah, I think I'm running for president, then he's endorsing the idea that Joe Biden is not the guy. Which is why I still think it's all orchestrated. He's going to step down at some point.
Yeah.
I don't. No. He can't do it. He can't.
No.
And this is what people keep saying. I think Joe Concha said this when we talked to him yesterday. If Joe Biden wants to do it, who is going to stop him? The challenge that I have to that is how many people are hand in hand with Joe Biden, have been there forever with Joe Biden, because he's been there forever, that know how to destroy him. They know how to, I think they all know how to mutually destroy one another. Mm-hmm. And if enough people are on the right side of it and they go to him and they say, here's how this is going to go down. These are your choices. And if Joe Biden gets a graceful exit and he gets to be lauded, good grief. You know, Joe Biden's legislative record is really quite impressive. That's not his record. He's not a part of that. I mean, I understand that you're saying that he's the executive in office, but he screws things up when he gets involved for the Democrats. They get more done without him. He puts his ink on the paper. That's something. That's not for nothing. He beat Donald Trump. That's not for nothing. But that was it. Joe Biden's purpose in office is to not be Donald Trump. And Joe Biden in office has given America an opportunity to say, but what about Donald Trump? Maybe could be a little bit better than what it is right now. Joe Biden was literally anybody but Donald Trump. And that was enough in 2020. The apparatus that they had surrounding him, that was enough. I don't know that it's going to be enough in 2024. And I keep hearing people who are a little bit more feet on the ground, adherent to gravity as opposed to the lofty ideas. We took a ton of phone calls yesterday, and I got compliments. A lot of people reached out and really liked hearing what a lot of you callers had to say and agreed with the callers and disagreed with the callers. But a lot of people saying how powerful Donald Trump is going to be when he gets into office on day one to be able to drain the swamp, so on and so forth. To me, none of that matters unless he can get there. I'm not even interested in talking about what we're going to do on each day of the vacation until I, A, know we can afford it, and B, the vacation is booked. I need to know it's happening before I'm going to sit here and talk about and fantasize about what the swamp is going to look like once it's drained. It's going to be messy. Is Donald Trump going to be able to get across the finish line? I'm actually hearing more and more people whose feet I look at are firmly planted on the ground, aren't really like out there as Trump advocates so much as they are trying to do the play-by-play of the election season we're in right now. And more people are saying Donald Trump could very well beat Joe Biden. How many times is that going to be said out loud? And what happens when it infiltrates CNN and MSNBC when somebody says that on there? Joe Biden's time is limited. Maybe in more ways than one. And it's not anything to gloat about. It's not anything good. It's terrible for the country. My question to you is, I was thinking about this coming into work today, is do you feel, when I was putting together the poll question, and today's poll question on the YouTube channel is, do you think the 2024 GOP VP candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? So you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote there. I was thinking to myself, I wonder, when I'm trying to come up with a poll, I was like, I wonder if people feel like the momentum is shifting one way or the other. And anytime I come up with a question for a poll, I kind of game plan it all out, because if I feel confident that at the end of that poll question, I already know how it's going to go, I'm not going to ask it, because I want something that either makes you think or that the results are going to tell me something that I don't feel like I already know. And my question was going to be, do you feel like the momentum is shifting one direction or the other? And 509 days out of the election, it means nothing right now, because the momentum is going to go back and forth like a ping pong ball before the election actually gets here. But there are key issues that are front and center for voters, for parents, for employees, for employers, for people who want to safely get from point A to point B on the street in their city. There are key issues right now that I feel are very much so swinging back to the middle. I don't think that it's a right-leaning issue in sum total at this point, but I think if you look at crime city to city to city, people are going, yeah, that thing that we've been doing here, that ain't it. So you consider your options. Republicans, what are you going to do about it? What do you have to say about it? What's the plan? Drugs, fentanyl. Look across the country right now and see how these substances are ravaging our cities, that are infiltrating our homes, into our children's lives. I don't think that the way it's going is the way we want it to be. So people are going to lift their head and they're going to go, well, what are the other options? The southern border? I don't think that people are looking at the southern border right now going, Joe Biden is just so compassionate. I am so happy to be a part of his southern border plan, and I think he's doing great. And that border czar, Kamala Harris, man, home run. Great work. People are not saying that. What's the alternative, Republicans? What do you offer? Education. Freedom to parent your own children. Social issues right now involving those kids. I don't really know anybody who is out there advocating to regulate how people live their adult lives. I know people who are super supportive and want to be as involved in how other people live their lives or their identities or whatever. And I know people on the other end who don't want to be around any of that at all. I know people all over the spectrum. You do too. But why in the world does somebody else need to put that in front of my child? You don't. And guess what? You won't. Issue after issue after issue, we have seen what Joe Biden's America looks like because he has been incredibly effective with the far left progressive influence that really led up to his election, did not come from his election. He just opened the floodgates. Far left progressivism is crept into every corner of this country, and people aren't loving it. They're not there to tell everyone else how to live their life, but everywhere you look right now, you're like, why are you trying to tell me how to live mine? Why are you trying to tell me how to raise my children? Why are you telling me that if I don't comply, if I don't speak the words that you force me to speak and refuse to say the things that you tell me I'm forbidden to say, why is it that you automatically call me a name? Say that I'm racist. Say that I'm a phobic. What if I just have a different set of principles that I base my life on, and I want to hold those dear, and I will stand on those foundational principles, whether you like it or not, and I've been pretty quiet about it because I really don't need to infiltrate how you live your life, but you've crossed the line working your way into mine. That's the culture war. And there has been a lot of retreat on the conservative side of that aisle, and the pushback that's going to come is to regain that ground that really the other side started, which was, can't we just live our lives and mind our own business? That used to be a classical liberal position, and it is no longer. That is now the social conservative position. And if they don't understand that, the progressive left doesn't understand that, and they continue to push in the way they do, they're going to lose. But Republicans, what are you going to do about it? I'm waiting to see. Because the momentum shift, if it goes one way or the other, you have to play on that. You gain ground, you gain yardage, you need to get the first down, but the first down is not the victory. You got to get the ball in the end zone. And we have to understand the game we're playing, and it has to be cohesive. And I don't know that we have that right now. But I think that we're starting to bring into focus what that goal is. And the exciting thing on at least the right side of the aisle is there are a lot of people who want to contribute to it. There are a lot of people who are getting in the race to do this. We have another candidate announced, again from Florida. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez is running for president. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. There's a lot of hope out there, but we got to organize it. And we'll see if we can. Go to the YouTube Live, the Annie Frey YouTube channel, YouTube Live Chat poll. Do you think the 2024 GOP vice presidential candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? Would love to know what you think about this, so go vote in the Annie Frey YouTube Live Chat portion. The poll is right there. When we come back, Hans von Spakovsky is going to join us, and I'm going to ask him a few questions about all these legal things that have risen to the top here. If you have questions or if you have clarifications you'd like to know, feel free to put them in the comments. Maybe I'll get one of those questions asked to Hans. Don't go away. Back in a minute.
If you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Stewart's American Mortgage. If you Google the bagel loan, you're going to find out everything you need to know about Stewie and Stewart's American Mortgage and the bagel loan and 314-324-4440. One of my most favorite things about talking to you about Stewie is that when you hear what I'm saying and you're even 50% intrigued by it, that number I just gave you is Stewie's direct number to his cell phone, 314-324-4440. And he lets me tell you that you can text him, 314-324-4440. He's a great supporter of the Annie Frey Show, helps bring you free radio for you to listen to at your own whims, but he's also out there to help you. And I love partnering with him because he's helped me. I'm a customer of the bagel loan 2 times, refinancing my house because at the time, both of times, rates continued to drop. Now, rates have come down now as well from some of their highs in the last 6, 8, 10 months. So if you're looking to refinance and use the bagel loan, which makes it so you don't have to pay any closing costs, Stewie's your guy. If you're looking to purchase a new home, don't pay closing costs. Go to Stewart's American Mortgage and get the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. Google bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
This is an Illinois Family Institute, IllinoisFamily.org update. Volunteers are lining busy streets, holding signs with photographs of babies, as well as the victims of abortion.
We go to a busy intersection. We show the reality of abortion. We pass out literature that appeals to the heart to get people to think about the loss that every abortion is.
Eric Scheidler leads the Pro-Life Action League and the organization's Face the Truth tour.
We want to remind people that there's a victim behind abortion to move their opinion farther and farther away from accepting this, not only as a public policy, but even in their own lives. We can restore protection for unborn children in the state if we all join together, if all hands are on deck.
Visit IllinoisFamily.org to stay informed about issues that impact life, faith, families, and freedom, and go there for upcoming events and to sign up for IFI email updates. IllinoisFamily.org.
Exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car that's taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly and selling is a hassle? That's why you should donate it to Goodwill. Donating is quick and towing is free. Plus, you get a tax receipt and 4 tickets to a Cardinals game, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a win-win. For more information or to donate, visit online at mersgoodwill.org. Must mention Cardinals.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Warmer days are coming. Time to schedule your annual AC system check for as little as $15 a month. For any residential or commercial HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because you clearly have a refined palate. St. Louis is home for conservative talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Let's go! Walks further down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets.
My role is completely consistent with the regulations that set forth the responsibilities of the Attorney General under the special counsel regulations, and I followed those regulations. With respect to the second question, this again is asking for particulars, and I'm not going to be able to comment. All of the comments on this will have to come in filings in court.
We the people of the United States
You're perfect.
You're a form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Hans, it's been a week, and we're so grateful to have you back here with us. Thanks for spending some of your Thursday here afternoon with us. We appreciate it.
Well, I'm always happy to do so.
So I want to ask probably a host of questions regarding the Trump indictment, but I always want to give people who have the expertise that you do as a Department of Justice lawyer and a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation to give your top line thoughts on the Trump indictment, and then I can follow up with some questions there. What do you think that the American people, especially us who don't have legal expertise, what do you think that we need to know about this situation?
Well, the biggest question that Merrick Garland, who you just played a clip from, what he hasn't answered is why this is a criminal case. A criminal case under the Espionage Act instead of simply a civil matter under the federal law that governs the National Archives and federal government records. And I ask that because of the fact that, you know, if you compare this to what Hillary Clinton did, she destroyed, 30,000 something emails. She had classified documents on her home, her server in her home, in her closet. She actually destroyed 2 cell phones so that neither the FBI nor DOJ could look at them. And when you compare those two and the fact that there wasn't even a civil case filed against her, it makes you wonder what's going on here. Plus, something else that I haven't really heard people talk about is, you know, the House Intelligence Committee took a deposition of the head of the National Archives. They released that 2 months ago. It was a secret deposition, but they released a transcript. And in that transcript, the head of the National Archives admits that in the last 2 or so decades, they've had to deal with at least 80 phone calls and inquiries from universities and libraries. And what were those inquiries about? Well, when members of Congress and government officials in the executive branch donated their papers to these universities and libraries, what did they find in them? Classified documents. And nothing was done about it.
Yeah. I mean, there are 2 separate issues here for me. One is, did Donald Trump do something he wasn't supposed to do, regardless of what anybody else has ever done before?
Yes.
And 2 is that equal application of the law. I want to ask you about the first part of that, because I do think it matters because we can't just constantly be like, well, the last guy got off, so the next guy gets off, because then the next guy and the next guy and the next guy gets off. Why do we even have laws?
Well, no, you're right about that. And I don't, like I said, I don't want to underplay the seriousness of what Donald Trump did. I mean, I was shocked, Annie, reading through the indictment at how sloppily and cavalierly these records were treated, including the classified documents. I mean, it's hard to read through it and without going, what in the world were they thinking?
Are you talking about the way Trump treated them?
Yeah. I mean, these documents, the way they were stored in a storage room, on the stage of a big ballroom, you know, used by lots of people. And you know, like I said, they have a recording in which he admits that some of these classified documents, he did not declassify them, which is, remember, that's the position they've taken all along from the very beginning. So it's not that these charges aren't serious. They are. But I don't think enough consideration is being given to the fact that it's a former president. And we've had other top officials in the executive branch, including, by the way, now Joe Biden, who also sloppily handled classified documents. I mean, Joe Biden finding them in his garage. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that is the part that chafes so many Americans. And I've heard people who are on the left be very frustrated by that as well, because they know what's going on here. They still hate Donald Trump. They still think he did something wrong, and they still want him to get what's coming to him. But at the end of all of this, they just don't want him to be the president anymore. 400 years or whatever it is in prison seems excessive to even the people who don't like the man.
Right. And look, if I'd been the prosecutor on this case, look, what I would have done is I would have looked at the past treatment of folks like Hillary Clinton, all the folks, the National Archives people say, did the same thing. The fact there were no criminal charges filed. And while I would probably be critical of President Trump for his mishandling of this, in the end, two things. One, they got all the documents back. And two, they don't have one single iota of evidence that any foreign agents, foreign governments, or anyone like that got their hands on any of this classified material. I would take those two things into consideration. And while I might issue a report critical of the president, I would not have indicted him.
So we're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a DOJ lawyer as well, author, and with us each Thursday. You talked about the recordings. A lot of people very focused on the things that he said in those recordings. What kind of trouble is Donald Trump in based on those pieces of evidence?
Well, like I said, I mean, the main thing is him admitting on the audio tapes that he hadn't declassified these documents, and the fact that he was showing classified materials to individuals who were not cleared to see them. And that is very troublesome. On the other hand, look, there's information in the indictment that the government clearly got when they seized all of the documents, and they have information in that was privileged, both attorney-client privilege and the executive privilege that a president has. And I think that information, one, shouldn't be in there, and the DOJ shouldn't have ever gotten it, because the reason, for example, they have some of this information is because Joe Biden, the current president, waived executive privilege on these documents that Trump had from his administration. I don't think that's proper. I don't think a current president has any right to waive that privilege for a prior president and his materials. I think that in itself was wrong.
Hans, another criticism that I've heard people even on the right say, I think Jason Chaffetz was on Outnumber on Fox, and the first thing he said the day after the indictment was, my first question is, why didn't you just give them back? Why didn't you just return the documents? I've heard tons of people say that. If Donald Trump would have gotten the phone call or the letter or whatever it was that says, hey, we need this back right now, and he would have gone, oh, I'm sorry, okay, here you go. Would he be in any trouble? Would they still have found something here to pin on the man?
I would hope not. And in fact, those critics are exactly right about that. As soon as he figured this out, as soon as his lawyers were contacted about this, they should have given all of the documents back instead of moving them around and trying to deny that they had some of these materials. And, you know, I don't know what to put it down to other than the obstinate nature of the president. And look, you know, that's not necessarily criticism. It's his obstinate nature that helped him fight off the media and a lot of leftist attacks. But in this case, it was a wrong motive, and he should have given these documents back right away.
Some of the detractors and Trump supporting legal opinions suggest that as the president, he can take what he wants under the Presidential Records Act. I've heard people say, even on this show, say that by virtue of him taking it, it becomes declassified. I mean, like very, very broad applications of the Presidential Records Act, so that his possession of those records simply means that they're declassified. And as a former president, he has the right to have them in his possession. Is that true?
I don't know the answer to that. And I don't think anybody else knows the answer to that, because that has never been tested in the courts. If he is convicted, I have no doubt his lawyers will appeal the decision, even if they have to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And I have no doubt they will assert that as a defense. But this issue has never, ever come up before. So I have no idea what the Supreme Court will say about it.
Well, Hans, we love having you here, and there's going to be so much more to talk about. I want to talk to you about the Joe Biden stuff, but we'll have to save that for another time. Thank you for being here with us, and we look forward to touching base with you again next week.
Sure thing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a DOJ lawyer as well, and author of the book, Our Broken Elections. On Twitter, at H. von Spakovsky. Go tell him hi. Thanks for stopping by the Annie Frey Show. When we come back, Wiggins America, the arbiter of what is cool. I know that's what you've all been thinking this entire time. Hannah will be in here to weigh in on what Wiggins says that there might be some things that you're saying right now that are not cool anymore, and he's just here to help. Likely. Don't go away. Wiggins America in studio when we come back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
STS-Armory.com. Ooh, I think that one of the things that we ordered from STS Armory is coming in today. You got that cooling off period, the whole kit and caboodle. When you go to purchase a firearm in the state of Illinois, there are a lot of things that you have to know, and there are a lot of things that you likely don't. That's fine when you go to a place like STS Armory and you put your trust in them, like I have, like my husband has. STS Armory is making sure that you are completely compliant with the laws in the state of Illinois. And man, they change on the regular. Lots of court cases, lots of different legislation going through, getting signed and being challenged. STS Armory is at the forefront of this. If you are an expert firearm owner, if you are somebody who is a veteran, if you are military, if you're a retired police officer or current police officer, STS Armory, they are your people. If you're somebody who was like me, novice, capable of firing a weapon, but no expert at all. When I go into STS Armory, I ask them questions. I ask a lot of questions. And Katie and Jesse Johnson and the amazing staff at STS Armory, they help me navigate through what I'm looking to accomplish and a smart, economic way to achieve that. STS Armory are your people in the Second Amendment business, and I highly encourage you to call them at 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-GUNS. One more time, 618-931-GUNS. Sign up for a class, ask them your questions, stop in the store in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. You'll be glad you did. STS-Armory.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today. That's yourEyeDoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
This is Andy Berg, board-certified master arborist with Hanson's Tree Service. Maintaining healthy trees in our urban environment is a challenge, and our trees often don't perform how we'd like. Go to hansonstree.com to find out how we can service your trees today.
Mango reminds Missourians to prioritize natural gas safety during National Safety Month. An important safety tip: if you smell gas, act fast. Leave the building, go upwind, and from a safe location, call 911.
I have a strong opinion about today's YouTube live chat poll. Do you think the 2024 GOP VP candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? Log on to the Andy Frey Show YouTube page and vote. The time right now, 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Conservative solutions, objective conclusions. For news and opinion, this is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
I was tired of my lady. We'd been together too long. Like a worn out recording of a favorite song. So while she lay there sleeping, I read the paper in bed. And in the personal columns, there was this letter I read. If you like pina coladas,
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
I was just wondering how long you'd dance.
It is my personal opinion that no song has done more for the cause of people who love pina coladas than that song.
So, quick pina colada story.
I didn't know this was coming.
My daughter in first grade, they were going through the alphabet as you are to do, and it was P Day. And the teacher's like, all right, children, what are some P words that you know? And everyone's like, pina coladas! Which is funny, because I don't know if I've ever had one, but that is not the understanding of the people at her school. Anywho, thanks.
That is funny.
Thanks, little girl.
That's a funny story, considering
so
that I
Evelyn.
don't think I've ever seen you drink a pina colada.
That's because I don't think I ever have. They sound great.
They're amazing.
Yeah, fantastic.
I have no reason not to other than I just haven't. Let's go.
There's really no reason to even put alcohol in them. They're just great smoothies.
I could get behind that.
Right?
So good.
I said for my bachelor party to the guy that was organizing it, I want a bottomless pina colada. And you don't have to have any alcohol in it all day. And you know how many pina coladas I got? 2. Thanks a lot.
Did they have alcohol in them?
You lightweight.
No. No, I wanted more.
Did
he just
you-
didn't keep them coming.
Did you make it through your bachelor party?
Oh yeah. It was nothing. It was nothing. Now the ones I've organized, they got a little crazy, and that wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. It
Read
was
the entertainment. We know how you love the polls.
No. We went to a Grizzlies game, and all 10 of us were in that hot tub in the outfield.
All you men.
Yeah.
You know there are other things to do in Sajay. I'm impressed, and I respect you for sticking all those dudes in the hot tub and keeping it above board.
There's a hot tub at a baseball field.
There are hot tubs at a lot of baseball fields.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Branch out a little bit. Live a little, Hannah.
Yeah.
I gotta try that.
As I say, Arizona has a whole swimming pool in right center field.
But isn't in Arizona? Can't you see? Isn't the front of it glass?
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
Oh,
Like
so
a-
you can
it's like a
see
fish
in
tank.
it? Oh.
No bueno.
Well, depending on who's in
I'm
it.
learning
Man, we went
so
to
much
Sajay
today.
and things got wild. Hot tubs, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
And I was a designated
guys.
driver, and some of those guys were getting pretty drunk, and there were some kids that were playing around, as they're apt to do.
Yes, it's the Grizzlies.
Yes.
It's family.
And some of those kids decided to make fun of us, which some of those guys,
I wonder why.
when we were 24, were huge and ripped, and one of them stood up out of that hot tub like Godzilla, and those kids never came around again. It was really funny.
That's terrible.
It's their fault for making fun of us. We were being totally cool.
Speaking of
Speaking of being
things
cool,
that aren't cool
here are things
anymore.
that these are phrases that if you're using them, the internet's telling you should retire your usage of these phrases because they're not cool anymore. And we, Brad, Annie, and I are of the same general generation. Hannah, I want to know if you've even heard some of these phrases.
All right.
The first one,
Some of us are way cooler than others.
Yeah, resident cool here. I'll tell you if they're cool or not.
bugging out. Do you know what bugging out means?
Freaking out.
No.
Kinda.
So if you're going to bug out, that means you leave.
Leave. Yeah.
If somebody
really?
is bugging, they're behaving in an unfamiliar way that concerns you. Is what
That's
it
not
says.
how I would use bugging out.
Yeah.
No, if I'm at a party and I don't want to be there, I would tell my friends, hey, I'm going to bug out of here. I wouldn't say that, but that's what that would mean in any understanding I've ever had.
Oh.
If you had said that, some of
I
your
would
friends
think
might
that
have
would
said,
mean
Wigging out.
Go crazy.
No,
No.
wigging out is the same as freaking out.
I think that your information is wrong.
Okay.
I think that you've been using it wrong.
Was that written by a Zoomer?
Not sure. Number 2, open up a can of anything.
Whoop ash.
Yeah.
I've heard that many times.
Who's this article written? What's the author?
Oh, it's some.
No, tell me the name.
Buzz Fresh or something like that. It wasn't even BuzzFeed. It's like it's like the offshoot of BuzzFeed.
It's Walmart BuzzFeed.
Mid BuzzFeed.
I
say that
pulled
right?
them all down. So I pulled them out of the article, so I don't have the article.
BuzzFeed mid.
Made my own list here. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying these things accurate.
Okay, keep going. This is fun.
You go, girl.
Is it?
You go, girl.
Is that okay or
never
not?
Liked that.
What's a girl?
Good question, Hannah.
You go, person. I've never heard that, and I don't even think you can say that today. So,
Getting jiggy?
no, don't say that.
BuzzFeed is a cat blog run by unhappy people in Brooklyn.
Get jiggy.
Did anybody
was that
ever say this?
cool? Was
No.
that
Oh,
ever
heck
cool?
yeah. It was
Oh,
cool. It was a
man.
dance, and it went like this.
Yeah.
Getting jiggy with it. Because that's what Will Smith did.
I think you
now
just
he's
proved
hitting
that
people.
it wasn't.
No, not cool.
Nobody ever said Nobody ever said getting jiggy.
No,
Oh,
no, one-
yes,
no,
they
no,
did.
no. Nobody ever did say getting jiggy. It's getting
No,
jiggy.
they dropped the G and then it was cool. Well, now it's not cool at all. Sup?
I used to say that
Did you?
mockingly to people like you.
I would have been like,
You
oh,
walk
cool.
in, I go, sup. That's not
That's not you.
the cool way to say that word.
Did you ever say that? Sup?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I would, but I was only inviting people
Remember
to
when
eat
commercials were good and it was what's up?
Yeah.
with me. Oh, yeah, yeah. But that's was up. This is sup, which I would use to invite people to a biblical dinner. Please come sup with me.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Please don't ever say that word again.
Not.
I could still bring that back. I'm not mad at that one. Do you know what that is?
What?
Hannah looks very confused, which is unbelievable.
What?
Did you ever have somebody say something and then turn around and go,
Ryan,
not?
you look great today. Not.
See? That's how you use that properly.
That's how we were mean in the 90s.
Yep.
I would much rather take that as meanness compared to what they do now.
Yeah, because you'd walk into a room and somebody say, hey, you look great today. And you go, oh my gosh, I feel so good about myself. And then they'd turn it around with a not or a psych.
Psych.
And then you go, oh no, I feel terrible about myself. And then you'd bug out.
And leave.
I used it in the way that you use it for your sake.
You have to know that that's...
No, I would have always said that it's similar to freaking out, bugging out.
Tell us in the comments, folks. What do you think?
And now people, when they're saying freak out, they'll say geek. You're geeking out.
Geeking. But that's
But
like
that
you're in
almost seems
love
old,
with
too.
something.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
Freaking out means being frightened or anxiety ridden.
Yeah, bugging out is like you're going crazy a
She's
little bit.
geeking.
Geeking out would be you're fawning over something. You just met your favorite celebrity and you're geeking out. You like that. Whereas bugging out is more of a negative.
Like when Ryan Wiggins sees Dave Glover in the halls.
Yeah.
Geeks out.
I bug out. I geek out. Not. I hope Dave's listening.
Like
in the bathroom. He's going, what the heck?
Sup.
Monet. Has anybody ever heard this one? This is the one on the list.
The
I'm
artist?
like, what? Yeah, Monet. Monet, as in the painter. As a phrase?
I was never that cool. Apparently.
Me either.
Wait, what is the appropriate way that this mid BuzzFeed says we should use it?
It's someone or something that seems attractive from a distance, but when you get up close for a better look, it's not very attractive.
Oh, I have heard this before.
They say not unlike the paintings of French impressionist Claude Monet.
Oh, it's like almost like a butterface.
Yep.
Similar.
Oh, I've heard that.
You think he's hot? You better look again. He's a total Monet. I've never heard that before.
This is why I'd never liked cool people.
Yeah. I actually
that-
rebelled
these
against
are
all these
mean.
phrases when they were popular. I might start using them now.
Yeah.
I may have said that once or twice.
AIGHT.
Now they just use IGHT.
Yeah, it's because you're lazy. Kids these days.
Oh, so you drop the A.
At some point, it's just going to be...
Yeah. You know, in our day, there was an L and an R in that word.
Well, not ours. Before our baby boomers probably used it. All right.
Xers probably did.
Maybe. I'm kind of an
R.I.T..
Xer, though. Crunk?
Get crunk? Yeah.
Did you ever say that?
No, I know. Never seriously. I've probably used all of these words if I've heard of them, but do you know me?
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
ever used this
Let's
word.
get crunk means sweatpants, couches, kids in the basement, sleep by 10.
It's a celebration that's gotten so wild and crazy that Snoop Dogg himself
Like
might
I
show up.
said, sweatpants.
That's probably what Snoop Dogg does for fun now.
He wears sweatpants all the time.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. This one's so common that how could you have not used this one?
Whatever.
How about kick him to the curb? Got only one left. Kick him to the curb. Have you ever heard of that?
That's a phrase, but
Yeah.
it's not something people said to be cool.
Well, it was apparently, more common in our generation to say, he did what? Oh, girl, you got to kick him to the curb. What about home skillet?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Sup, home skillet?
Oh, there are a couple more. Booyah.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
That one
I
can't
kinda
go
did.
away.
I feel like
I
you
kinda
would
use
use that
booyah.
all the time.
Yeah.
As a joke, and then it just becomes normal.
If
That's the
you're-
way it always starts.
If you're playing,
How do you spell that?
if you're playing a board game with your kids, there's a booyah coming out.
Yeah.
At the right time.
Booyakasha. Scrubs. You don't want none of
None
those.
of those.
Oh,
None.
Scrubs.
No scrubs.
Scrubs needs to stay, though.
Yeah, fly. That's on the list. And hella rounds out the list.
I don't like that one.
I never liked
That's
that
a
one
little
either.
bit post us.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Tyrus, Jay Ashcroft, what a pair in the 1 o'clock hour.
Updating your home with James Hardie siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300, and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsacehardware.com.
I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday afternoon who does not know that I talk about Dr. Ty Parker and Fountains Family Dentistry all the time. And he said he uses a CPAP. Actually, it's an APAP now, an adjustable pressure, different thing. So, I guess the technology is evolving. But he said he still hates it. He said he has been trying to wear this thing, and he said it does help him sleep better. But there's all these different, side problems that he's having. One is travel with it, and another is that if you don't have it sealed completely onto your face, you got air blowing in your eyes all night. And he said he actually got an eye infection from a CPAP. I mean, all these things, you don't have to deal with any of them if you just go to Fountains Family Dentistry and get one of those dental appliances that I talk about that you just wear as you sleep. You can travel with it real easy, and it does the same thing if you don't have really bad sleep apnea. If you have just moderate, it's great. So visit Fountains Family Dentistry, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A climate change tirade on Lisa Brady, Fox News. The head of the UN says fossil fuels are incompatible with human survival, calling on countries to start phasing out oil, gas, and coal, and criticizing companies that argue production can continue by capturing carbon emissions. Earlier, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen telling a finance ministers meeting on climate.
We have an opportunity to serve as a model for the rest of the nation and meet our respective government net zero commitments. And this means we have to walk the walk.
She argues the impacts of climate change hurt the economy. Critics argue the world's other top polluters aren't doing enough to curb their emissions. A groundbreaking advance in genetic research that's also likely to breed controversy.
Scientists say they've created the world's first synthetic human embryo-like structures from stem cells, skipping the need for eggs and sperm. Research on natural embryos is prohibited past 14 days after development, and the team based in the U.S. and UK consider this a breakthrough, one which could eventually help advance the understanding of genetic diseases and miscarriages. It does, however, also raise legal and ethical questions about the structures, which don't have a beating heart or beginnings of a brain, but do include cells which typically develop into the placenta, egg yolk, and embryo.
Fox's Lillian Wu, it's not clear whether the structure will have the potential to keep maturing. A new court date set for the Marine veteran now indicted over a chokehold death on a New York City subway.
Daniel Penny is scheduled to be arraigned in a Manhattan courtroom on June 28th. He was indicted Wednesday in the death of Jordan Neely, a homeless man Penny and witnesses say acted erratically on a subway car. Penny claims he acted to protect riders and himself.
Fox's Gernal Scott, the indictment remains sealed for now. America is listening to Fox News.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
At Simply Safe, we know during a break-in, every second counts. So our home security system is powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who use Fast Protect technology, only from Simply Safe, to capture video evidence and verify a threat for fast police response. Now install Simply Safe your way. Do it yourself or have an expert set it up for you with new Pro Install. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our high temperature this afternoon will be hanging around 90 degrees, plenty of sunshine, kind of a typical mid-June day, but certainly nothing out of the ordinary. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Venus, big and bright in the western evening sky. You can't miss it. 80s this evening, 65 for the low. Friday, partly sunny. 90 degrees Friday night, partly cloudy, and 62. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. You find Michael's locally owned and operated business online at igotfloored.com. MichaelsFlooring.com, and they are experts. It's nice to be able to go purchase flooring when you know that this is something that you're going to just get. Maybe at first doesn't seem like the most exciting thing, but when you start thinking about the transformation that brand new, fresh, clean, it's yours and it's never been anybody else's flooring as it comes into your house, smells fresh and clean. You go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and they walk you through the process. And you probably have an idea of what you want it to look like, but did you know how many different ways you can achieve a hardwood floor look? I bet you don't, because the last time you bought flooring, things have evolved since then, and they have a whole bunch of different options. And the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet to help you navigate that whole process, including understanding what your budget is and respecting your budget, Michael's Flooring Outlet is the best. You don't get to be a family-owned and operated business in St. Louis for almost 30 years without being the best, and Michael's is the best. If you're looking to purchase flooring, go to igotfloored.com.
Cardinals baseball is in full swing.
Right center field, a grand slam for Nolan Gorman.
With the free Odyssey app, local fans can listen live all summer long, whether you're at the grill or at the pool.
And it's a goner! An opposite field home run for Wilson Contreras.
Cardinals baseball. Cardinals announcers. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app. AUDACY. Get in the game and download it today.
Hey, the Mark Reardon Show wants to give you free last-minute tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. It's coming up at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on June 25th. Willie Nelson, Robert Plant, and Allison Krauss. Listen all this week from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for your chance to win.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things, for our planet. When buying toys for your pet, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. When you're injured and in your darkest hour, Onder Law is not only on your side, we're by your side.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day. In this instance, I was coming from school. I got out of class around 2:15, and I took I was at J Street Metro Tech, took the Uptown F train. At 2nd Avenue, a man came on, stumbled on, appeared to be on drugs. The doors closed, and he ripped his jacket off and threw it at the people sitting down to my left. I was listening to music at the time, and he was yelling, so I took my headphones out to hear what he was yelling. And the three main threats that he repeated over and over was, I'm gonna kill you, I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die. This was a scary situation. And Mr. Nearly came on, he was threatening, I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
So Daniel Penny has been indicted by a grand jury in the subway chokehold that he applied to this man who was making these threats on the subway. The man died. And now we have to face this. And I can't wait to talk to Tyrus about it. He's back with us, co-host of the Tyrus and Tim podcast. Gutfeld, you see him on Gutfeld all the time, Fox News contributor. Thanks for being with us again today here, Tyrus. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this Daniel Penny case.
I think it's a sad day that we've been reduced to this, to where facts don't mean anything and political opinions and agendas and narratives seem to carry the day. Again, the death is unfortunate, but the responsibility of the whole situation falls on Neely. He was protecting people. It was 2 minutes. It wasn't 15 minutes like they've been
trying to examine and trying to make it a black and white thing. And that's the sad part. It wasn't as much as they want it to be a racist thing, so they have an excuse to fundraise for Black Lives Matter and first world virtue and stuff. As a black man, I would have done the same exact thing. I would not have hesitated. I would have done the same exact thing. And again, most of the victims in the car that were afraid for their lives that he was threatening were people of color. So again, I hope this gets a quick acquittal and he can move on with his life. But, what does this message say to people when you see fellow Americans, especially women, that are in trouble or being threatened by this emboldened criminal aspect? And, it's always convenient that they want to use the mental health. They care about mental health after the crime is committed, but they're not doing anything about it before. They love to use that card. But it's just the next time you see somebody in trouble, is somebody going to be like, you know what, I can't get involved. I can't risk losing my life in prison or, because I'll be sued for doing the right thing.
Yeah. Tyrus with us right now. I'm curious about your experience as somebody who's frequent New York City. We are here in St. Louis. We make a lot of the top 50 lists of worst places, murderous places, dangerous places, crime places all the time. And we seem to elevate the victimizers and forget the victims. So what is somebody supposed to do if they have to go to the city, if they have to go out and, be in an urban place where a lot of people are packed into a small area, like on a subway? What are people supposed to do? Because it sure doesn't seem like we're backing the law enforcement presence and action to try to regulate these things so these instances don't occur with such frequency.
I mean, anyone who's still a police officer, my hat's off to them, because especially in these big blue cities, it's just a dangerous time. I'm a big dude. I've been a bodyguard. I've had a lot of situations where I've had to deal with aggressive people in my lifetime, but I don't go out unless I have to in New York. I leave my hotel room. Fox has a gym in the building. I get my lunch in the building and I walk back to my hotel room. I don't really go there many places, but my advice to an average person, don't wear any expensive jewelry when you go out. Make sure that don't wear headphones over your ears completely. Make sure you can hear what's going on around you. Be vigilant. If you're in a subway and you have to get on a subway, look at the people around you, look at the situation. Sometimes it's better to be late than get on a car that looks sketchy or iffy. You have to act like you're on your own.
Yeah.
You have to assume that there's not enough policemen around you because there isn't. And even the policemen, their hands are tied for what they can and cannot do because everyone's trying to get a 30-second video clip of them doing something wrong and then ruin their lives. And then you have these so-called politicians then come out and they're fighting for everybody, but this agendas and donations and, everything's racist when there's absolutely nothing to do with race. So I would just assume, be prepared for the worst and, travel accordingly. Is this trip really necessary? And that's my advice for anybody in the city. I wish I could say something different, but that would be my advice.
You just said something that's pretty shocking. I know this to be true, but hearing you say it is jarring. You have to assume you're on your own. Because when I'm looking at the people who are in charge in St. Louis, when I'm looking at the people who are in charge in New York City, and when I'm looking at people who are in charge at the highest levels of the country in our federal government, they're all of the same party, and they've never met a government program to fix a problem that they haven't fallen in love with and can't wait to spend our money on. How is it that with all of this control, all consolidated in the same political party, how is it that people who are just trying to get from A to B right now are on their own?
It's shocking how obtuse these political individuals are because their policies on face value would be wonderful. But they assume to forget that the human beings that they're protecting, we have to start looking at it for what it is. We have rotten citizens in our country. We have career criminals. We have career pedophiles. We have monstrous people who take advantage of the system, instead of actually putting in a hard day's work and being respectful. And it's your truth if you want to take your shirt off on the White House lawn, and it's your truth if you want to steal somebody's, if you want to rob a Walmart because supposedly somehow Walmart was connected to slavery. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we have to start looking at the realization and the fact that people have gotten worse. The more successful, the more safe place America becomes in the world front, the more dangerous it becomes with individuals. And now these individuals are emboldened because it's not my fault. We've gotten rid of accountability. We've gotten rid of, they attempted to get accountability. They want to get rid of the police force. And even if you do something heinous, it's the system's fault. It's not your fault. And with an ideology like that, you are just opening the gates to more violence, more people. And here's the deal. Most of it's not getting reported. Most of the people who are being assaulted or raped or beat up or robbed, they're not even saying anything. There's no point to go stand down and go to the police office and file out a report and have a police officer, overworked police officer, tell you, we'll do the best we can. And so you have a complete. We don't know the whole story, and you'll hear, the statistics and all this other stuff. That's a fraction. That's the people who police actually have the ability to show up, or it's so severe that it makes the news. But most Americans who are dealing with this stuff, their voice has been completely cut off, because even if they do come in and say something, somehow they're the bad guy. I mean, you can't even defend your place of work. If somebody comes into your office and starts robbing the place, or comes into your store and you try to stop them, you get fired. So, I mean, that's the message we're sending, and it's really, really sad. And I guess for some reason, the people who are doing the right things, their lives, I guess, are less valuable than the people who are doing the wrong things. But I guess as long as you have people doing the wrong things, you have a need for your programs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They need up and down to be opposite, left and right. Right is wrong. Everything is being contorted and inverted right now, because if you upend everything that people understand, then you can reset the table based on your own standards and your own expectations. I know you have a book coming out in the fall or in the late summer here, Nuff Said, probably very appropriately named, I'm sure. But when I hear the phrase Nuff Said, I think of people who are saying things that are should be just blatant common sense, but in today's day and age, when up is down and left is right and right is wrong, you can't say these things anymore. Because if you say things that are commonly understood out loud, you're going to get pushed back, you're going to get called names, and so you should just keep your mouth shut. But Tyrus, you've never been the type of person to keep your mouth shut.
But I also know when I should speak and when I shouldn't speak on something. But here's the deal. Common sense is what I'm known for. And it's not a great skill, I'll be honest with you. And if I would be happy to be out of a job if everybody was using common sense. I have no problem going back to being a quiet teacher somewhere. But, I keep hearing, man, it's so refreshing, your common sense approach. And it's just baffling to me that has become a rarity, because everything, I don't believe in everything I'm responsible for everything in my life, good, bad, or indifferent. And you have to take responsibility and accountability for your actions. But we are dealing with a part of society right now that loves to tell everybody it's not your fault, it's somebody else's fault. President Trump did it. The system did it. Your great-great-great-great-grandfather did it. It's just all these excuses. And on top of that, everyone is the center of the universe. I need to know your pronouns, your food, how you like to sit, who you sleep with. I'm supposed to know this. Like every time somebody strange person walks up to me, because they're the center of the universe, we're supposed to. If you decide to live a life where you overeat all the time and you're obese or whatever the case may be, so everyone should buy you a plane ticket on the plane. Like, we're just living in really ridiculous times where it's like spoiled children. And at some point, someone's got to get the spatula out, or the belt, or the wood, or whatever it was in the old school. Someone's got to spank the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because the baby's getting out of control. And
kids these days don't know how effective kitchen tools can be outside of the kitchen. I don't know that they're familiar.
I was a giant child, and my mother had a small hand. It wasn't working.
Tools were implemented.
Yeah, and here's the deal. And I don't need to go to a therapist about it, and I wasn't wronged. Timeouts didn't work for me. All I did during timeouts was rethink my activity and how I could do it better the next time. But my brother didn't get spankings because timeouts worked for him. So, there's that. But again, and I wouldn't be where I was at today if I didn't get corporal punishment because I was thick-headed and stubborn. So, but
let me ask. I'm going to follow up on that before I let you go, because I think what you're talking about is tough love. And the interesting thing to today's society and culture, you're a parent, I'm a parent, is the idea that toughness and love actually have to go hand in hand. You cannot separate them. Can we get back to that? I mean, maybe a new version of it, but the idea that it's going to be tough.
That is a perfect example. I have all my daughters this summer, and you know Georgie quite well.
Yes,
I believe she commandeered the radio station at one point.
She did.
Her sisters, I can look at them and say, "I'm disappointed in you," and they will put their heads down and they will cry, and they will be so sorry to the point where it's like, okay, that's enough. Georgie, on the other hand, will stare a hole through me going, and?
What are you going to do about it?
She has to take the walk to the bathroom because I'm disappointed in you. She'll be like, well, I'm disappointed in you too. So how about that? So that's just the thing. But here's the deal. The three biggest, the greatest teachers we have in this country is sorrow, is pain, loss, and failure. Those are lessons that we need to learn, especially at a young age. You can't have success without failure. You can't enjoy things without pain and loss. That's part of life. And it seems to be that's what the real agenda is like they want everyone to walk around with a giant mattress surrounding them. And so nothing can hurt or help them. And it's just an unrealistic way of living. It's it's a very narcissistic view. And I don't know how we get back to that other than taking care of our home. But the thing is this. The ones who most Americans live that way is the problem is the camera lens and the social media is focused on this percentage of people that everybody watches and looks at. So the only way you really stop this type of behavior is stop giving them the platform, stop bringing them on your show, stop arguing with people about what a woman is. We know what a woman is. Stop arguing with ignorance and stop wasting our time with it and focus on what we need to be focused on.
Yeah, there's so much to be focused on. And when it comes to kids, I've heard so many people on the left these days talking about our kids. The only people who love your kids enough to be tough enough with them so that the world doesn't eat them up are the people who created them.
Our kids kick in on the food bill one time, or they're.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, man. Tyrus, well, I tweeted out at Annie Frey Show, I tweeted out a link to the pre-order for your book, Nuff Said. I read Just Tyrus. It was fantastic. Can't wait to get the next version. I hope you read in the Audible version again, because that was a treat. And I want to take that in again. So I encourage people to go to Annie Frey Show.
Attenborough is still available. I'm still David Attenborough. So other than that, it looks like I'll have to do it.
Thanks, Tyrus. Great to have you back.
Always a pleasure.
Talk to you soon. Co-host of the Tyrus and Timpf podcast. Have you subscribed to that yet? He's on Gutfeld. Always great to watch him level that show with common sense. It's always fun to take in a Tyrus panel when he's on there. And also author of a book, Just Tyrus, a memoir. I've read it. You should too. And you can pre-order right now. Nuff Said. That's his latest book coming out in August. Quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jay Ashcroft. You folks in Missouri are, I take in what you guys are doing in Missouri and I compare it to what's going on in Illinois. Night and day. You want to talk about red state, blue state. Jay Ashcroft is going to talk to us about some new library rules implemented to protect our kids. I'm going to ask him what that's about and why we're prioritizing this in the state of Missouri. And he's going to make the case for you right here on the Annie Frey Show when we return. Don't go away.
Oh God, running to the altar like a track star. Can we end on the second? There's a way you hold me.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
And no, I can't stand it being fake. No. I don't believe in nerve.
TheDiamondShop.net is the website. You type in TheDiamondShop.net, and quickly you can become a VIP. It's free to do it, and there's no reason not to. When you become a VIP, you're going to get access to special discounts and merchandise free to sign up. Become a VIP at the Diamond Shop. When you are shopping there and you approach them with whatever you're searching for, maybe you're just browsing, you got something coming up and you want to acknowledge it, and you got a budget in mind, you go in and you talk to Tom, you talk to Mona, you talk to Nikki, you talk to the amazing staff that knows jewelry and can help connect you with the piece that's going to make that statement that you've been looking for. You're going to quickly understand why the Diamond Shop has been as successful as they have been since 1910. They are destination, generationally loved jewelers, and they are right there in Clayton waiting to help you with your next jewelry purchase. Walk in there, ask them how they can help you with whatever it is you're looking for. They also have special financing available with 6 months, same as cash. Don't miss out at thediamondshop.net.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Just got done speaking with Tyrus and had a really great conversation with him on the Odyssey app. If you follow 97.1 FM Talk, rewind to about 1:05 and you'll be able to hear anything that you might have missed. And let's get to our next guest now. Jay Ashcroft, Missouri Secretary of State, joins us. Welcome back to the show, Secretary. It's great to have you here.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me back. Great music intro.
Yeah, it's always a good one. You got to kind of let that one breathe a little bit. I wanted to ask you about this new library rules to protect our kids, the endeavor in the state of Missouri. Now, you know that I hail from that other side of the river where Governor Pritzker has made like a law or a rule or an edict or whatever it is that our Lord Pritzker does over there and talked about there will be no books banned in the state of Illinois. What is with the words book banning in this country right now? What are people talking about when they say that?
Well, generally, they don't know what they're talking about. Our rule in Missouri just makes sure that parents are in control. It doesn't ban any books, and frankly, if I were God and could wave my hand, there'd probably be some books that I would ban, but that's not my right, and that's not the authority I have as Secretary of State. But what the rule does do is requires libraries to figure out what's age appropriate and what isn't based on their library district, and then to make sure that they're not buying pornographic materials with state money, and that if there are inappropriate materials for little kids, they can't have them in the section for little kids. They have to have them in the older section or the adult section. If they're going to have something at the library, a presentation internally or externally, they just have to, and all their advertising, put kind of an age-appropriate level like we see with television shows and movies so that parents can make that choice. They have to put parents in charge. And we're seeing pushback because certain libraries and librarians don't want parents in charge. They truly believe that they should control what your kids are doing, not the parents.
You know, Secretary Ashcroft, when I think about all of the different, mini battlefields and major battlefields that parents, voters, taxpayers have to fight on a regular basis, I really wouldn't have had very high on the list libraries. Do you think that there's something intentional going on through library systems, be it public libraries, school libraries? Are conservatives making a big deal out of nothing here, or are progressives trying to infiltrate these public spaces with some sort of malicious intent?
No, this is not conservatives making something out of nothing. I cannot, in good conscience, it might violate some laws, for me to actually put on the internet pictures that are in books that some libraries are pushing into young kids' hands. They're wholly inappropriate. If we had been having this discussion 20 years ago, we would at least have had librarians and the people that are fighting us saying, hey, this isn't pornographic. But what they're saying now is it doesn't matter if it's pornographic. Their statement from the Missouri Library Association was that every child should have access to whatever is in a library, regardless of how mature it is. That's just ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. That's like saying that a child should be able to walk into a movie theater and enter any theater to watch whatever movie. Of course not. That's obscene to think that. The other thing I hear a lot with some of the more broader culture wars, or whatever we want to call them, regarding LGBT issues, but mostly the transgender issues, is the difference between this is not about sexuality. This is about identity. And this is just about who people are. It's not a sexual thing. Are you seeing that to be the case in these libraries across the state of Missouri?
Well, people say that, but it's not true. We had one of the biggest library systems in Missouri when this rule went into effect say, if we're not allowed to have age inappropriate material in the children's section, we have to remove our pride display. We didn't tell them they couldn't have things regarding pride in the children's section. The government is not supposed to do content-based censorship. But what we said was, if you yourself believe that it's not age appropriate, you cannot have it in the children's section. And they said, oh, well, then we have to move it. That right there tells you they knew that it wasn't appropriate for little kids, but they were pushing it on them anyway.
So a comment here in our chat from Art says, just because they're in a library doesn't mean a kid can check them out. My kid can't rent R-rated movies from the library. Are you saying that in libraries across the state of Missouri?
What do you mean? What do you mean your kid can't check out R-rated movies from the library? According to the Missouri Library Association, anyone that has a library card, be they 65 or 5, they have the right to check out any material in the library. So, yes, many libraries would say that child can get whatever movie we have.
And Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, you have a problem with that? I mean, like,
I think
obviously, how is this hard?
In charge.
Oh. So when you put that's an interesting point, because what you just distinctly said there, which is what everybody should understand about good, true conservatism, is you have not purported to tell people what to do with their kids. You've told people that they should handle their own kids, not this whole our kids thing.
this rule does not give me any authority to tell you what your child can get. I believe that the person that should decide that is the parent. I believe in local control, and the best local control is mom and dad. And if mom and dad say we want our kid reading this book, that's not my decision. That's their decision. But it's not the librarians. It's not the library association. It's mom and dad, the guardian, be it grandma, grandpa, you name it. The person that cares for that child, they should make that determination.
We're speaking with Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft about this new library rules protect our kids measure in the state of Missouri. I want to broaden it a little bit because Missouri is an important state in this union from people who live across the river like I do in the state of Illinois. Man, if Missouri is doing it, Illinois is doing the opposite. And the red states seem to be getting redder. The blue states seem to be getting bluer. And we're about to go into an election season. We're honestly in it already. We have 50 test kitchens for how states choose to handle their economy, these types of social issues, education, policing, all of the different things, elections. You might know a thing or two about that. How do you feel about the way red state Missouri compares for their constituents to, say, blue state Illinois?
If we want to get this country on track, we need to quit listening to blue states like Illinois, New York, Oregon, California, and we need to start following what red states are doing what we're doing. We need to follow what we're doing with libraries to put parents in charge. We need to follow what Missouri has done, and several other states are following us on ESG to put people in charge of their own money. This is the seminal question of our time. Who's in charge, the government or we the people? And I stand firmly with we the people.
Well, I can't really say it better than that. And it's on issues like what books and pieces of material that children are going to have access to in a library, to the broadest, biggest issues that our country faces. Who has the authority here? Where does freedom live? And once you surrender it, what happens next? Thanks for being with us today, Jay Ashcroft. We appreciate you. We know that you've got an exciting election ahead of you as you've launched your bid for governor of Missouri. We look forward to having you back.
Thanks for having me. Keep preaching the good word and pushing people forward.
I will do my best. Jay Ashcroft, Missouri Secretary of State. Really interesting take on this library thing. And I love how that conversation just organically materialized. Missouri libraries are doing this. Kids have access to that. We think that kids shouldn't be able to have ready access to this type of age-inappropriate material. He didn't say that it wasn't going to exist. Mm-hmm. He said the localities are going to be able to determine it, and we should not have age-inappropriate sexual content where children can access it. And someone goes, that doesn't happen. That can't happen. My kid can't get it. Actually, in fact, yes, they can. In the state of Missouri, in the context of what we're talking about here, easy to slap these things around back and forth when people don't have the facts and they have the talking points that they like to lay their head cozily on their My Pillows at night. I don't know. I'm not paid to say that. I don't care what pillow you sleep on. I actually think Michael Lindell is kind of goofy, but I digress. It is what it is. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's get a little bit of feedback here on the YouTube live chat poll. Have you voted today? Need to know what you think about this. Do you think that the 2024 GOP vice presidential candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat portion. You're going to see the poll right there. You just vote yes or no. Leave a comment if you so choose. Back in a minute.
Let me light your candle, 'cause mama, I'm sure all the hand and just around.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFreyShow.
Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance is the champion that you need to sell your home in the state of Illinois. If you have been thinking about listing your house, the market's kind of wonky. Yes, I know, I get it. But when I talked to Jen about this, and I've talked to her about it in and out quite a bit, what's the market look like? And she's like, I still have buyers for people's houses if they want to list them with me right now. She understands the way the market is going, and now is a great time to get in. 618-541-1010. Call her, text her at 888-541-1010. You can go online as well to jenteskehomes.com, T-E-S-K-E, jenteskehomes.com, and start the conversation to get your house listed and to position it to sell for top dollar in the timeline that you need. If you're thinking about selling in the future, if you know, I'm not ready to sell before summer is over, but we're going to need to move in August, you get contacting with her right now. You have the conversations. Maybe it's a year away. Maybe it's 2024. And you're looking to relocate. She's ready to help you through that process. 618-541-1010, jenteskehomes.com.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock, masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Zero Res has the best deal of the summer for you right now. 20% off all services, carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, and air ducts. Call right now, 474-2020, or book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Ask for the Mark Reardon Special. Zero Res, you spell it backward or forward, it spells the same.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car that's taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly and selling is a hassle? That's why you should donate it to Goodwill. Donating is quick and towing is free. Plus, you get a tax receipt and 4 tickets to a Cardinals game, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a win-win. For more information or to donate, visit online at mersgoodwill.org. Must mention Cardinals.
Hey, some great guests on the show today. Hans von Spakovsky at 12:26, talking about all of the legal stuff from the last week. Tyrus at 1:07, and Jay Ashcroft. If you just missed it, you can rewind on the Odyssey app or get the podcast. The time is 1:43. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Fry Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. You know what? Just type in Annie Fry Show live stream.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm just trying to cleanse my brain from the conversation taking place here off air.
Don't worry about it.
And I'm actually incredibly worried about it.
Just sit in it and enjoy it. Just like a hot tub full of dudes.
It is a very worrisome conversation.
If you have no idea what he's talking about, you should use the Odyssey app and rewind to Wiggins America, where we talked about Ryan's bachelor party.
A bachelor party I organized.
Yeah, the one he chose to plan.
I planned out.
Not the one where he was like, this is what I want to do for my bachelor party. This is what I want to do for somebody else's party. Let's all get together, boys, and get in a hot tub together at a family-friendly environment.
A little man stew. You cut up some carrots, some celery, you put it in there. And
my
you see how
favorite
it
part of
tastes.
this whole thing is that it took place in Sauget.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did.
Just
not where you normally go in Sauget. Actually, it is where we normally would go.
Yeah, it's totally. I would go to the Grizzlies because it's family fun entertainment.
It is family
and
fun
I have
entertainment.
gone to the Gateway Grizzlies baseball games countless times in my life because my husband used to work there, and I love the Gateway Grizzlies. And I've never been to any of the other fine establishments in the city.
Me either.
The metropolis.
Me either. I enjoy a Grizzlies game is what I was trying to say, and that whole segment was the point of the segment. And we did enjoy a Grizzlies game. I don't remember who won, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That's what they all
remember
say.
much about
A little
the game.
distracted,
That's what they all say. I don't know. I didn't even look. I had my eyes closed the whole time.
I wouldn't know.
I was
I've never
wearing
even
my Nike
been
shoes. I
in
just
that
stared at them the whole
situation.
day. Night, time, place. What?
You were talking about shoegazing.
YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you think the 2024 GOP vice presidential candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no, Brad?
Yes.
Who?
I think it's Vivek Ramaswamy.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
Well, one, I don't really know what state he's from. But two, he's also a good candidate because you wouldn't like. So people look at like Tim Scott and you go, well, but you'd be pulling Tim Scott out of the Senate. I don't like the idea of pulling Tim Scott out of the Senate. Although I think he'd be a great president, a great vice president.
Vivek was born in Ohio, Cincinnati. I don't know if that's where he hails from.
But I also think that, too, if you stop and think about it, Vivek Ramaswamy would be a great mouthpiece for your campaign, for your administration. You could assign him tasks, and he could accomplish tasks. You could assign him this stuff. You could put him in fights. Him overseeing the Senate would be great. I just think he'd be a great candidate.
You don't need to accomplish tasks to be the VP.
No, you don't need
yes,
to.
Yes, you do. Look at our current vice presidential person, lady. Probably. What is a woman?
And I rest my case.
Vivek said, according to ABC News, the headline is he says he wouldn't seek to charge Biden if elected president.
Wouldn't seek to charge him with these current bribery allegations?
Fine, I'll open the article.
Or with the document stuff.
Follow-up question to my headline
he's under
reporting.
Investigation for a lot of things.
Republican
Not like deep investigation.
Presidential candidate Ramaswamy, if elected to the White House, would not pursue charges against Joe Biden over the current president's handling of classified documents while out of office, which is way different than accepting bribes from Ukrainian officials.
That is a little different.
Specifically, it is a time to be alive, to be like, which charges of the current president? Okay, so you say Vivek. What about you, Ryan? Do you think the 2024 GOP vice presidential candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? Answer now.
It's not often that I would put money down on one of these questions, but this is one that I would. I would put money against any of these people being the vice president because usually, aside from Kamala Harris, we just talked about how great she's done, usually it is not somebody that you know. It's somebody that they pick from wherever who was way off the radar.
I believe my answer to this is no. And I believe that Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee in my heart, not necessarily in my head, but Ron DeSantis is my pick. And I think he's going to pick John James from Michigan, and I think it would be a smart pick.
John James would be a fantastic VP as well.
Oh, it took me a second
Michigan.
to go through the card catalog to remember. He was really good in that
Military.
campaign. Yeah.
He's in the House right now.
I would like to see
Michigan.
I mean, if we're going to go ahead and give our dream VP picks, I don't even care which person's at the top of the ticket. I would like to see Byron Donalds as the VP pick. I think he would
Florida
be great.
person. We can't
everybody
all be
from Florida.
from Florida.
Why not? Make America Florida. Make it the whole ticket.
I'm not opposed. I have Ron DeSantis 2024 and Ron DeSantis for president apparel that I bought a year or two. I don't know. I think I got it during COVID because I did get it during COVID because I wore them to Disney World when I went 9 days after they reopened in 2020. And I was like, this is great going to Florida because this is free and Illinois wasn't. So I have all this Ron DeSantis stuff. I do not feel comfortable wearing it yet. Not in this moment in time. I also have Make America Great Again t-shirts, Make America Great Again hats, Trump hats. I bought the hat, the red V hat and the t-shirt, which was in a bundle when I was in New York City in 2019. That was one of the things, that was like one of the souvenirs. I wanted a New York City MAGA set. And they had them in all of the I Heart NY gift shops. Made in the USA. So I bought one of those. I don't wear that either.
You don't want to wear them because you think it wouldn't be good for your personal safety, or you're not willing to like throw your hat in?
I'm not throwing my hat anywhere.
Okay.
No,
Keep your hat on.
I just find it to be too polarizing.
Oh, so at a baseball game, you don't want to wear a political shirt.
No.
Gotcha.
No, I don't want to wear it anywhere. I mean, I was fine wearing it at Disney World when I was really happy that Ron DeSantis was taking Florida in the post-COVID, like the willingness to be post-COVID, period. End of story. That was it. I was really grateful for that. And that was when I started really paying attention to what Ron DeSantis was doing in Florida and really appreciating him for it. I've been talking about him. I remember reading his Wikipedia page on the air when people weren't talking about Ron DeSantis. I was just, and I have a brother-in-law who lives in Florida. So they knew about it. They would tell us about stuff that was going on. So I was just connected to it. But I think John James would be a great guy.
Yeah, no
Good
argument.
job.
Kim Reynolds, you talked about her, Brad, governor of Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
She gets kicked around a little bit as an idea of a VP.
I think you have to pay attention to where they're coming from and what they do to benefit the ticket.
Yeah, I do too, but I just don't think geography does as much as it used to.
I do when only 5 states matter.
Well, okay, but if you're in one of those swing states, I don't think the people in that state, unless you're like Sununu or something, and people from both sides just happen to love Larry Hogan or somebody like that, most of these swing states, those people are just as polarizing in their own states.
Well, you're the guy who's always talking about turnout.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a reason to turn people out in your state, more because there's a familiarity, I would, if the Republican candidate for vice president with Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or any of these people who are in this race, if the Republican was a conservative from Illinois, I would be so proud of that. I also don't understand what that would look like. I don't know who that person would be. But I mean, I would take great pride in that. If even coming into Missouri for my literal day job and knowing of Josh Hawley and of Eric Schmidt and knowing I've had personal connections with these people and knowing so many people who support them, voted for them, love what they're doing, I would steal a little bit of that familiarity and pride and be really excited to see if one of those two individuals were involved in it. I think it makes a big difference.
The one thing I will say about picking a candidate from a swing state, based on the geography basically, is that there's probably more of an apparatus in that state for that person to get out the vote. So it could affect turnout just because of the support that the team that's already there. I could see that.
Somebody suggested that maybe Donald Trump should pick Kamala Harris as his vice president. Then nobody would impeach him anymore. Do you think Carrie Lake has a real shot?
At Senate?
No, at vice president.
Oh, no.
No.
How do you feel about her?
I don't know, because so many of the things that she's done since the election, I feel like, just like many of those election claims, that there is truth in some of them and no truth in some of them. And so it's a very mixed bag, and I do think some of the claims that she's been fundraising off of this are true and trying to keep her name out there true. But then other times I'm like, I'm glad you're still fighting because there's merit to that particular claim. So I don't know. But I don't think she's got national figure.
She hasn't won anything.
Mm-mm.
No, she hasn't won anything yet.
And she should have won in Arizona if you bought into what Kari Lake was selling in that election. And I loved watching her get straight to the point. Like, I was a fan of watching her take on the people she took on. But she wasn't able to push it through. And we need... Here's where I am in the primary process. And Illinois is a great example of this. We get really stuck in the mud, principled and, adherent to the most core things that matter to us in primaries. And then we elect people who cannot win in the general. And people are saying, I'm not going to compromise myself in the primary. There's got to be, you don't have to listen to someone say, here's the only person who can win. This is who you're voting for if you're a Republican. You don't have to do that. But we do have to individually broaden the way we think about primary candidates. And if they are in lockstep with everything that you believe in your heart to be truly conservative, you still have to ask yourself if they can win in the general. And in the state of Illinois, folks, I'm here to tell you, you are not going to get a true Missouri Republican winning a race in Illinois. You aren't going to get it. And you have to ask yourself, would Chris Christie be great for the state of Illinois? Would a Chris Christie-like Republican be able to make an impact and a major difference in the state of Illinois? It would be significant.
Good job. Good word. You really led us up to the cliff there and then just went over. You're a professional.
I'm trying to be nice. What I am is I'm nice. And if that was bad radio, in my heart, I was trying to be nice.
You did a good job.
I'll explain it in a minute. Come vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Do you think that the 2024 GOP vice presidential candidate is currently in the race? We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
McKelvey Homes was founded in 1898. This year, we are celebrating our 125th anniversary by giving $12,500 of free options on all homes sold through the end of June. And we will also make a donation of $1,898 to the Independence Center for every home sold. Visit McKelveyHomes.com for our current locations and to learn more information about McKelvey Homes. That's McKelveyHomes.com.
The Closet Factory, online at closetfactory.com. These are magicians. They're going to come into your home. If you've got kids or grandkids that come in, it's like a whirlwind. I know what this is like. They come and they're a hurricane and then they make a mess. And then what do you do with all the stuff? Especially when you get grandkids back in the house and you want to have things that they love to play with and you need to have a place for them. It's kind of a new addition to your home, a very joyful one. How do you make this work? The Closet Factory can come in and take your space and give you customized storage solutions for unique needs just like this. Or maybe it's that room, the mudroom, when you enter your house and just stuff collects there because you don't really have a specific location for the mail or for the laundry or for the boots, the dirty clothes, whatever it might be. The Closet Factory can come in and solve this problem with you with a customized, unique solution for your needs. Call them at 314-961-4300. Tell them Annie sent you. You can find them online at closetfactory.com.
If you're thinking about selling your St. Louis area home, you might be overwhelmed by the process, especially in this market. Mark Cox here. I strongly recommend you call and spend 5 minutes getting to know Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria understands you have questions and that selling your home can be stressful. She has mastered the home selling process with her Guaranteed Sold program. It simply states Gloria will sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or Gloria will buy it. So what's her secret? Gloria already has the buyers. The fact is your home may already be sold. Let Gloria show you how she nets her home sellers more money and how she sells faster on average. Need more proof? Check out Gloria's 5-star reviews and get moving. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on price and possession date.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Real transparency. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how President Biden describes efforts to target junk fees.
Junk fees are not a matter for the wealthy very much, but they're a matter for working folks like the homes I grew up in. And they can add hundreds of dollars a month and make it harder for families to pay their bills. I think it's just wrong.
He's announcing new voluntary commitments by companies including Live Nation, SeatGeek, and Airbnb to make pricing information up front and more clear, following new federal oversight that the administration says has reduced overdraft fees and other hidden costs. The president not responding to a shouted question about a cyber attack hitting several federal agencies. U.S. cybersecurity officials say they're working to determine the origin of the attack and what may have been stolen. The attack exploiting a weakness in the Move It application, a software commonly used by governments and companies around the world. Make room in the pool for at least one more.
I'm going to run for president. I'm going to run for your children and mine. Let's give them the future they deserve.
Miami Mayor Francis Suarez releasing a video ahead of a speech later today at the Reagan Library in California that makes at least 13 candidates seeking the Republican nomination. A possible plea deal in the mass shooting at a gay nightclub in Colorado Springs.
Anderson Lee Ulrich is expected to strike a plea deal with prosecutors in El Paso County to murder and hate crime charges. That would ensure at least a life sentence for last year's attack on Club Q in Colorado Springs that killed 5 people and wounded 17 others. Ulrich, who identifies as non-binary, preferring they-them pronouns, telling the Associated Press via a jailhouse phone call that they want to take responsibility for what happened.
Fox's Jeff Panasso. A hearing is set for June 26th. Prosecutors recently asking survivors to prepare with victim impact statements. America is listening to Fox News.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
At Simply Safe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with Simply Safe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our high temperature this afternoon will be hanging around 90 degrees, plenty of sunshine, kind of a typical mid-June day, but certainly nothing out of the ordinary. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Venus, big and bright in the western evening sky. You can't miss it. 80s this evening, 65 for the low. Friday, partly sunny, 90 degrees. Friday night, partly cloudy, and 62. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
The Retirement Advisory Group has been helping 97.1 listeners and Annie Frey Show listeners for a very long time. It's a wonderful partnership that we have here on the Annie Frey Show. And I want you to understand that when you go talk to them, you're going to partner with them in a sit-down conversation that's not going to cost anything. You just sit down and you listen to what they have to say, and then you make a decision for yourself. 314-993-9494. You call, you text 314-993-9494, and listen to what they have to say. They're going to help you build your own personalized structured income plan to generate you an income for the rest of your life. That puts you in control of your money. That's a very valuable thing. It's an important thing. And when you are in your late 50s, your early 60s, and retirement is around the corner, you want to be certain that you can be comfortable in that retirement that you've built up for yourself. Call them at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. You can find them online at retirementkey.com.
If you love eating out, let me introduce you to Satchmo's Bar and Grill. Mark Cox here from my friends at Satchmo's. They have daily lunch and dinner specials. They're a from-scratch kitchen with food and cocktails, and they have weekly specials. Wagyu meatloaf on Monday nights, steak night on Wednesdays, burger night for just $6.95 on Thursdays, and plenty of flat-screen TVs to catch the big game. Check them out on Facebook or online at Satchmo'sGrill.com at Olive in 141.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
If you're looking at new windows for your house, choose wisely. Mark Cox here for my friends at Window World. You want to go with a company you can trust. Ranked number one in the number of windows sold in the country. That's according to Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years in business, they've improved the look and obviously the thermal efficiency of over 70,000 customers in St. Louis. They're going to give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts and the glass breakage and the labor. It's a good product. Call them at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate. That's 314-993-1800. Window World won the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. That's not easy. They rely on the expertise of their in-house engineers and their analysts and their product experts to give that seal of approval. That should matter to you as well. Call for your free estimate right now. Simply the best for less at Window World. 314-993-1800. WindowWorld.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today. That's yourEyeDoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Not just right and left, right and wrong. We're discussing it every day on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Glad that you're here with us this afternoon. The YouTube live chat poll. Do you think the 2024 GOP vice presidential candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? You have to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and in the live chat of today's live broadcast, you can vote. How far would you go, Ryan Wiggins, to prove a point to people about how they care about you and if they haven't treated you well, if you really needed them to understand how valuable you are in their life? I mean, have you ever had to like really prove that point, or just kind of?
I think I'd probably do the opposite. If I feel like I'm not wanted by a group of people or someone, I may put in depending on who it is, I'll put in the effort with my wife or something, like if we're having a chilly week or something like that.
I would hope your wife would want you.
But excuse me. But most of the time, if I feel as if it's just not reciprocated, like I'm not being accepted into a group or something, I'll just kind of move along. I won't put a lot of effort into it.
This Fox News story and report has me scratching my head. A Belgian TikTok star. This is how you know you're careening into the abyss. A Belgian, not the Belgian part. They're great.
Great waffles.
Great waffles. The best. With over 166,000 followers on the platform, faked his own death for attention from his family.
Do you get it?
Quote, "Cheers to you all. Welcome to my funeral." David Barton's told his assembled guests in a video, according to the Times of London. The Times quoted Barton on his reasoning for faking his own death. Quote, "What I see in my family often hurts me. I never get invited to anything. Nobody sees me. We all grew apart. I felt unappreciated. That's why I wanted to give them a life lesson and show them that you shouldn't wait until someone is dead to meet up with them." One video of the moment that Barton made his appearance at his own funeral via helicopter has received over 5,900 likes on TikTok. Completely relevant. Fox News Digital.
5,900?
Yeah, that's really not that impressive.
That's not that great.
I rented a helicopter.
Fox News Digital reached out to Barton for additional comment. People also reported that Barton included his family in on the social experiment. Quote, "Rest in peace, Daddy. I will never stop thinking about you." One of his daughters reportedly wrote on TikTok before the service, "Why is life so unfair? Why you? You were going to be a grandfather and you still had your whole life ahead of you. I love you. We love you. We will never forget you."
Did he film the whole thing when he showed up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what's important. For a TikTok star, pretty much got to do that, right?
I don't understand why these people don't like this guy.
How could they have been avoiding him? Every time he walks up, he's got a police cam strapped to his chest. Let's talk about something important.
The thing about it is, too, is like if I would have been part of his family and the family that he let in on this, I would have floated it on the other side and be like, nobody show up. Just don't show up. We won't tell him he can do his thing.
But they didn't know that he wasn't dead.
Well, it said he brought his family in on some of it.
Tell him. Tell everybody on freaking TikTok. This is the reason why I bring this story up, though. Would stuff like this happen if TikTok didn't exist?
No.
If social media didn't exist? Because he's not doing this to teach these people a lesson. If somebody does this to teach you a lesson, how are you going to feel about that person?
Pretty bad.
I think the lesson that I learn isn't going to be the lesson he's trying to teach me.
Yeah, he's doing it for those sweet, sweet 5,900 likes. I saw this story, too, and I almost couldn't believe it. This is so ridiculous. I get to the point where I don't want to take pictures even of my kids at soccer and stuff because I'm like, I want to actually enjoy the thing that's happening in front of me instead of trying to document it for a future me to look at sometime, I guess. I don't know. I got plenty of pictures.
I document stuff for my kids to be able to look at in the future more than me. The things that I post in my own personal social media, the vast majority of things that I post are so that they'll show up in my memories. My favorite thing about Facebook is that every day, I don't do it every day, but every day if I open Facebook and have 10 worthless minutes to scroll, the first thing that pops up there is your memories, and I look at them every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they make me sad.
Oh, good.
Well, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
Oh, look, I'm not saying that I don't take pictures. I mean, yesterday my 5-year-old fell asleep in a fort that he built at 7:00 at night. And I'm like, oh.
I posted a video or something. I don't remember what it was of a kid. One of my kids, not just a random kid. No, one of my kids. Oh, I know what it was. It was when I went to my then 6-year-old's concert, and my son was playing in a baseball game somewhere else. And I had to go to one or the other. My husband coaches the baseball team. Dad's at the baseball game. Mom's at the concert. But I wanted to follow along with my son's baseball game. They have Game Changer. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't need to. It's just an app that basically allows you to follow the game play by play. And so I had I had my phone in my hand with Game Changer on it so I could watch the play by play there while the concert was going on. And it's in a gym. I was sitting like they have the gym set up so the stage is in the front. There are a bunch of folding chairs all over the gym floor, and then they pull the bleachers out. I went to the furthest back bleachers and sat on the top row, mostly because I could leave my back up on the wall. So I was out of the way. So I wasn't like in front of anyone. But I have my phone up with Game Changer on it so I can watch my son's baseball game. And I had a camera videoing the concert. And my mom took a picture of me doing all the things. And I posted that on my show Facebook page. And I had several people comment, put the phone and the camera down. You need to be in the moment. Mind your business. Because I wanted to see what my son's baseball team was doing, which is why I was on the phone. And I had the camera up so that my husband could see the concert because my 6-year-old would want to watch that concert with dad later. So this is what you have to do. And I understand the idea that people believe that some people are too in their screens or whatever, but you don't know what other people, you just don't know. You don't understand it. And I had one other time, I was on a field trip. This is years ago. I think it might have been when my son, who's 13 now, Charlie, was like, I think he was at the pumpkin farm or something. And he was kindergarten, young. And there's, pumpkin farms have all the things that you can play on. You do the pumpkin thing, but then you do the outdoorsy fall stuff. And he was running around with his classmates, and I was sitting on a bench, and I was on my phone. And I had somebody walk past me and say, you should really be in the moment with your kids. Put your phone away. And they said it in a playful, kind of like loosen up type of an attitude. You know what? I worked at a job, which was here at the station as the digital brand manager at the time. I worked at a job who told me, you don't need to take a day off. Go be with your kid. Check your email if you need to, in case there's anything we need to know or text message or whatever. But just take the day. If there's anything we need you for, we'll let you know. Which was awesome of my employer to just be like, go be mom for a day. You don't need to put in a vacation day or anything. You don't need to officially take the day off. Just if we need you, we'll let you know. And so I was checking an email while my child didn't need me to be like up in his face being like, are you having the most fun you've ever had at the pumpkin farm? Did you pick out a cute? Like, I didn't need to do that. The kid was just playing and I didn't need to hover over the kid and I was looking at my phone. And I really long for the day where whatever I'm doing, you just entrust me to mind my business while I entrust you to mind your own. And we don't really have that. A lot of people, it's the unsolicited advice that really can get under my skin more than it should. But I think a lot of those instances, like as a parent, you have to trust that if you don't know me, then you don't need to be commenting. If you do know me, do you understand that I'm trying as hard as I can? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. If somebody walks up to you in a situation like that, whether it be that or a different one, and they give you advice that you generally, though, you agree with, do you thank them for it? Because generally, I would agree with that guy, although I would never say that to somebody. But I agree, and I probably want to get to where he's talking about. So I would almost be like, yeah, thanks. However, I would maybe explain, well, here's the situation, but I agree with you. Do you feel like it even deserves it?
Nobody who is drive-by dropping truth bombs on you at the pumpkin farm is interested in your explanation.
Yeah, maybe.
And they're not really warranted one.
Mm-mm.
I usually just go, yeah. And that's it.
And then you go, Donald Trump, huh?
No, Donald Trump. Am I right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I need to say next time. They'll never talk to me again.
Or maybe they'll talk to you a lot.
Have you ever had those conversations with people, though, where you see something and you say wholeheartedly out of kindness, like what you were just saying, you want to live in the moment of your kid. You're going to remember it in your head better if you watch it than if you video it.
Yeah.
I believe that. I've experienced that myself. But people will provide you unsolicited advice, and then what do you do in that moment? Do you ever have that happen?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Sometimes I ask them to not to give me the advice anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Happens, I worry about, I do this whenever we're playing a game or something, playing sports, whatever. I'm trying to help.
Doing sports?
Yeah, whenever we're playing the old sports ball, I'm trying to help trying to help my teammates get better, but I'm also like very conscious of maybe they just don't want, maybe they're just there to have a good time, and
your goals are not their goals.
Yeah, and so I don't want to do it, but at the same time I also don't want anybody to get hurt, and maybe if you change a little something you won't get hurt. But I don't like to do it, and then sometimes people do that to me, and whenever you feel it on the other end, you're like, I'm not really interested in that. And sometimes I say that. It's like, I'm not really interested in that.
Has he ever said that to you, Ryan?
I mean, he's always telling me
Ryan,
what I could
I'm
have
not
done better in any particular segment. You used the word would there. It really would have been better if you used the word could. Because
what if
that
he's right,
could
though?
happen, but it wouldn't necessarily happen. And I might say, Brad, thank you for that. Why don't you go shut up?
I'm not really interested in that.
I'm not really interested in that, Brad.
That's the language he speaks.
I'll use that in the future. Thank you.
Interesting story about flying when we come back. You see this one? Hard to tell.
It's a pretty big tease, so I don't know. Maybe.
No pun intended. We'll be right back.
If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram @The Annie Frey Show.
But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles before that should do.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. Getrefunds.com. Getrefunds.com.
This Little Light is a new podcast hosted by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Join him as he explores falling in love with music, music education, and the creative process while interviewing the biggest names in music, like Rick Rubin.
I like things that are stripped down. I've always liked things that are stripped down. Then I can get to the point where I like something that's stripped down and what's it like with an orchestra.
This Little Light is a presentation of Cadence 13. Subscribe and download it now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Drifting through the wind, wanting to start again. Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you, 'cause there's a spark in you? You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a fire.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Trish is in here for Annie. Are you okay? But we're not going to start that yet because I teased something. And Trish is really the big star of the show today. So we're happy that you're here. Hi.
Hi. Thanks for that.
I talked. How did I set that up for? A big story, or I said there's a story
about flying,
and you said,
and I said, is it about Timothy Leary?
That's not what you said.
I don't know.
I know that you're. Never mind. There have been so many starts and stops on the show today for me where I'm trying to.
Yeah, a lot of check swings from you, and none of them called strikes. So good job.
Thank you. In my mind, they were definitely ones I should not have swung at. Plus-size influencer Jalen Chaney rips plane seat policies after demanding other flyers pay for her extra seat. Why is it always the influencers?
Well, otherwise we don't hear about it.
They must be good at their job.
Yeah.
So wait, she wants other passengers to pay for her extra seat.
She's demanding
more room?
that airliners change their, quote, discriminatory policies that make larger flyers pay twice for the same experience. Admitting that making such a change may make fares for everyone more expensive, she
But that's a sacrifice
made
she's willing to make.
headlines.
Right, yeah, she's okay with it.
In April, after starting the Change.org petition, demand for the FAA to protect plus-size customers doubled down on being discriminated against while flying due to her size. People with smaller bodies get to pay one fare to get to their destination. Chaney, who has to buy an extra seat while flying, told CNN Travel, quote, "We have to pay 2 fares. Even though we're getting the same experience, if anything, our experiences are a little bit more challenging."
Interesting. So I think that she's wrong.
I don't know if I trust you with this story.
First of all, so you can just talk over me if you want. But I think that she should have to pay for 2 seats if she's taking up 2 seats, or anybody. But let's reverse that. Let's get creative and say that if you're Kate Moss, you're only paying for half a seat.
You just have to pay for that spot.
And you'll sit in that seat with her? You pay for the other half?
Well, if there's 2 Kate Mosses. So I couldn't fit in a seat with her because I take up 1 full seat. I'm paying typical fare. But if you are a model who walks down the runway wearing aluminum cans or whatever, then you...
What?
You know...
Fashion. I'm with you.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a fashion
You
model.
should have seen the wobble he did when he said aluminum cans.
This is what they do.
What cans are you talking about?
Just whatever. They're wearing garbage and stuff now on the runway, and they're always very, very skinny.
Fashion critic.
No, they're not anymore.
They're not. Oh, you're right. Society has changed. But let's go back 10 years and
What
say
a
if you're
turn
one
in
of
the story.
those, if you're one of those models.
But it's not about 10 years ago. It's about now.
Well, you're right.
Should she have to pay more for her experience that is the same as yours, except not?
Answer yes.
Why?
She takes up more seats because of her size.
Brad, Something to say about this?
Lots to say. Your weight is your responsibility. It is not my responsibility. You made the decision. Like, I am so...
Ooh, you're going to say she made the decision.
Mm-hmm. I am so tired because I weighed 330 pounds. So I'm not coming at this from some sort of unknown thing. I weighed 330 pounds because my diet consisted of pizza, nachos, hamburgers, all of that for one meal. I ate my way into my weight. You can uneat your way out of your weight. Yeah, there are some stuff out there. There's that. But calories in versus calories out, you can lose weight. Your weight is not a condition. It is a decision. And I know I'm going to make a lot of people mad when I say that. But I made that decision. I decided I didn't want to work. I didn't want to eat less. I didn't want to do any of this. And it cost me a heart attack. I actually have had 3 of them because of the poor decisions I've made. That is nobody else's fault but mine. That is my fault. You spilling over into somebody else's seat is your fault, not mine. I don't owe you $1 for your seat so you can feel like you're part of the group or whatever. If you're occupying more than one seat, you pay for more than one seat. If I want to buy 2 seats and throw my bag in the seat next to me, I can do that because that's my money. I don't want to pay for your seat.
Brian, what would you like to add to that?
I think that is bigoted because I eat the same things as Brad used to eat, and I am still paying for one seat.
Do you eat the same things as Brad used to eat in the same quantities that Brad used to eat them?
Roughly, I think, yeah.
Probably.
I think so.
I've seen you eat at an unlimited dessert buffet as a diabetic.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
You do intermittent fast, though. A little bit.
Yeah, when he's sleeping.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I intermittent fast for roughly 7 hours a day.
That's
6 to 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
Man, I love to hear what y'all think about it, so you can get on the YouTube live chat and tell Brad what you think. Tell him rock on, or maybe edit what he said. I wanted to know what your thoughts were on this because I know that you've lived it. But can you? I mean, the audacity to be like, I take up 2 spaces, but everybody else should have to absorb that cost is a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hannah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Discriminatory.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
I'm just trying to figure out how Brad really felt about it.
You know, when I have my 2-year-old or younger sit on my lap in Southwest, I pay for one fare.
Ooh.
One seat.
Could I sit on somebody's lap and not pay?
No, that'll cost you.
You'll pay.
I got to pay extra.
Yeah.
Let me quote
experience.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
In jail.
Tenfold for that. Dead woman.
I'm here. I'm sitting on somebody's lap.
Give me back my money.
Go ahead.
Dead woman found breathing in coffin.
Whoa!
No. Good for her.
Hey, yo. Officials are investigating after a woman in Ecuador was found alive in her coffin. Bella Montoya died last week from a stroke at the age of 76.
Did she?
Hold on, there's more.
But did you die?
That's the question. When relatives started the process of changing her clothes after almost 5 hours of her body being in a coffin to prepare her for burial, she started to move and breathe. Her son says that she is currently in the ICU but is responsive. So she was down and out for 5 hours.
How would I be
in a
not okay
coffin.
with that?
Well, I don't know. Are you okay with any of it?
Yes.
Like, could you imagine?
No.
Like being okay. You're okay with it?
Would you rather just stay dead or wake up in your coffin and have to claw your way out?
Jeez. This is actually a happy story. But
Yeah,
right.
good for her.
Good for her.
She
Good for
overcame
Bella.
death.
Mm-hmm. Apparently this happens from time to time. Paul McCartney to reunite with John Lennon thanks to AI.
Love it.
Sir Paul McCartney has revealed that one last Beatles song will be coming thanks to the help of AI. McCartney told BBC that the ability to remove and separate voices and instruments with AI was used in Peter Jackson's Get Back documentary.
Get Back.
He's quoted saying, so...
That's how that song goes, if you were wondering
Kinda
what
sounded
Get
like-
Back sounds like.
Get Back.
It sounded like Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Molly still
That's the
does that.
Beatles' Get Back.
Molly, Michael Jackson. Hee hee. She does it. What? Yes.
So when it came to making what will be the last Beatles record, it was a demo that John had that he worked on, and we just finished up, said McCartney. Annie, are you okay with AI creating music for legends that have passed?
No, I just think that there has to be a finality to human existence. Otherwise, what's the point of when they're here?
I agree with that sentence about that question. That's not exactly what's going on here, though. What they're doing is they're able to remove his vocal track via AI and reduce all the drums and guitar and background noise. So it's not like they're making a new song and calling it a Beatles
But
song.
they're manipulating something that existed of his and making it new.
Yeah, but they've done that for 2 or 3 decades now. It's actually how they do sampling on songs that they don't have the original beat
Are
from.
you saying they're remixing it?
No, I'm saying they're making it. So the story is that he had a tape in his possession with a song called Now and Then. And when he died, when he was
Great
murdered,
film.
he was
So good.
Yoko found the tape and it said For Paul on it. And so she sent that tape with this demo to Paul McCartney. And he has held it for years and nobody's heard the song, or at least has heard any sort of good version of the song. And so he's saying now with AI coming so far, he's able to, or they're able to extract his vocals from the bad demo, and they're actually able to make a new Beatles song from it, which I think is awesome. I can't wait for it. He also said, though, that they're going to do a whole new record. So I don't know if that meant the record being the song or a whole new Beatles album, but either way.
This is Annie, are you okay? Not Ryan.
I did not know you were
History time
expert.
with Paul
So
McCartney.
passionate.
Yeah, deal with that,
This
Trisha.
one. Okay.
I'm going to
There it is.
hand my vote over to Ryan Wiggins.
Hey.
And, whatever he says, I'm
Annie
likely.
is great with this.
All right, let's talk about pizza. Pizza Hut is trying out pickles on pizza. Throughout the weekend in New York, Pizza Hut is offering a version of a pickle pizza. The recipe includes hand-tossed buttermilk ranch, cheese, crispy breaded chicken, seasoned with a Kickin' Nashville seasoning, sliced white onions,
So
and
it's like a
spicy
Nashville
dill
hot
pickle.
chicken pizza.
Yeah, but the thing is they're adding pickles to it.
But there's pickles on a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd just be like
On a pizza.
when they make a cheeseburger sandwich, they put cheeseburgery things on top, or other like a meatball pizza. If it's, I mean, I don't think it's as weird as people are saying it
I had a
is.
cheeseburger pizza one time that had pickles on it, and it was not. It was unexpected and
Was it
unpleasant.
was it like relish or was it
no.
pickle
it was
slices?
pickle slices, because you bit into it and it's like, oh, it's cheeseburger pizza, and it was like ketchup and mustard, and there was
Like
pickles.
if a Papa John's barbecue Hawaiian chicken, I don't know what it's called, but it is a delicious pizza. But it doesn't taste. I mean, when I think of pizza, I'm thinking of tomato sauce.
Yeah, when you start putting
Pepperoni,
barbecue
cheese.
sauce, buffalo
If
sauce.
you're changing, if you're changing the whole thing, and the fact that it's a pizza is it's like a flat bread with a sauce and some toppings, then this stuff. When people think about putting pickles on pizza, you're thinking about adding pickles to your pepperoni and sausage tomato paste pizza. That's weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound terrible to me. I'd try it. I
bet
like
some
Nashville hot chicken.
Crust with garlic aioli and feta. It's like, that's not pizza anymore. It's just like a flatbread.
Is that what you guys ate in the hot tub?
Well, we ate a lot of bready stuff, yes.
Gross. Say, gosh.
All right. All right, okay with pickles on
We're just
pizza.
eating some.
Lots of breadsticks.
Pickles on pizza.
I'm okay with pickles on that pizza. Distinction.
Okay. The question was pickles on pizza, but
No, I'm terrified.
Pickles on pizza. Jesus, take the wheel.
Woo! I thought you were going to take the Lord's name in vain there, and I was
know.
shocked.
Amazon
This
can...
and the hot top story in one day.
Yep.
Who
Hot top
knew?
story.
Hot top.
You guys ready for another?
I'm pretty sure that were you topless in that?
Darn right I was.
Oh my gosh.
We all were. Annie.
Oh.
And then you yelled at the children.
Just go, Trisha.
Okay, Amazon confirms they shut off a man's smart home because a random guy said he was racist.
Whoa, really? Oh my gosh.
Ryan!
That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
go. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. I'll be right back.
Can I go too?
Yeah, I don't
Do you
care.
want the story?
Brian doesn't even need us here today.
Brad, Hannah, you want to go have some coffee?
Grief.
Just come over here, grab the board, Ryan, and
Just hand it over to Reardon wet 3, Ryan.
Hang
It'll be
out.
fine.
Send Mark in. Try to get the inventory in.
It's time to play X's and O's.
Amazon S's.
You want to finish the story for Ryan? He's dying to know.
Amazon confirmed to the Daily Caller Wednesday they shut off a man's smart home because one of the drivers claimed an automated doorbell said something racist. It all started when an Amazon delivery driver dropped off a package to the man's home. The smart doorbell said something along the lines of, "Can I help you?" The driver, who allegedly had headphones in, said the device made a racist remark.
What?
Yeah.
From Can I Help You?
Headphones, wasn't really paying attention. He
just assumed.
He assumed. Driver goes to Amazon Amazon, following those allegations, shuts down the homeowner's smart home products, all of them. And then it took a while after a significant amount of back and forth and an
truth over facts.
internal investigation, whatever that means, the company finally decided to release control of the devices.
Even if he did say something fully racist,
sue them.
That should be wrong.
Annie, are you okay with companies policing language on your smart devices?
Yep.
Yep. You cool with it?
No, that's ridiculous and frightening because this person didn't even know what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And they just made an accusation and it was guilty before proven innocent. And that is upside down and exactly how Nancy Pelosi said it should be.
And extremely creepy, right? You go, hey, Alexa, sorry, everybody, can you do blah, blah, blah?
Well, tell them to turn on 97.1 if you're going to do it right.
Hey, Alexa, turn on 97.1. FM Talk.
Now the score in Wisconsin is playing sports talk radio and everybody's...
My bad, guys. Anyway, and Alexa's like, yeah, you're racist. Sorry, no. And just quits working for you.
I hate everything about that. You don't own it. This is why I don't have any of those sorts of smart devices that like Amazon Home or whatever. No. I don't want some other, because you don't actually own it. That's why they're able to turn it off. You don't own the stuff. You're just renting it, and then they can shut down your services if they don't like, for whatever reason they want.
Let's talk more about the lady on the plane.
No, we don't want to because they'll shut off our air conditioning here.
I think they did.
Dirk says, why is Annie taking Ryan's time? I agree.
I'm sorry, Dirk. I have no idea. I could go home.
Thank you.
My husband went fishing today. I could be fishing right now.
Did you catch anything?
But I'm here on the Ryan Wiggins show, the Ryan Wiggins experience, the RWE.
It's more of a experience. You said it. I'm gonna just. Shut
Is there a
up
height requirement?
You're having a good time today, aren't you?
No.
You know what? You've bragged about how many times you've checked your swing and not said it. That should have been one of those. I don't like that one.
Trisha,
take it back.
Oh, you guys want another one?
I don't know.
Are we okay with this?
What are we doing?
I don't know. This is your show. You want to sabotage it? Take it over. See
All
the
right.
driver's seat.
Just a reminder that
It's
you
a
can
manual.
rewind on the Odyssey app. Hans von Spakovsky was at 12:26.
You can't just start promoting things. We're in the segment.
I know,
That's
but
for
I'm rapping.
I'm good to go.
That's not rapping.
I'm ready. I'm
That was just talking.
This
Go
is
on.
No.
Professional.
No, let's just let the music
pro.
go up and see what happens.
No, that's not how it works. You got to make it sound really good and smooth and not talk about it while you do it. Go on, take over.
Do radio
All
things,
right,
Ryan.
you guys,
Slow
listen.
clap. Everybody in the car now.
It's
Go.
the Annie Frey Show.
Woohoo! Go.
I don't know what to tease next because I literally have no idea what we're going to talk
The
about.
YouTube
but
live chat
the
poll.
YouTube live chat poll
It's what we
today.
do
you
every
think the
day.
2024 GOP VP candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? Hannah
What should
will
they do?
give you. They should vote. Hannah will give you the results
Where?
in the next segment. This is the Annie Frey Show. I am Annie Frey.
Your heart will glow, and when it's time, you just gotta ignite.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
The Illinois Family Institute online at illinoisfamily.org, boldly bringing biblical perspectives to public policy in Illinois. I value this greatly because you'd like to have your voice be heard. You count. You matter. I'm here to tell you this. And the Illinois Family Institute is doing the legwork to make sure that you are connected with the activities, the legislation, the things that are taking place in the General Assembly in Springfield, Illinois, and making sure that your voice is heard, that you are informed. This is how you get connected to the Illinois Family Institute. You're going to go online right now to illinoisfamily.org. Go to illinoisfamily.org. Sign up for the Illinois Family Institute email alerts and commentaries to take action and learn about whatever the issues of the day might be. There are going to be ones that really touch your heartstrings. There are going to be ones that you're not really into. It's up to you. You get to take in what you see there, the content, the articles that they put up. And when you feel like action needs to be taken, you're provided with the means to do so. Sign up for these alerts and the commentaries by going to illinoisfamily.org.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. I have some breaking news from Omaha Steaks right now. If you go to omahasteaks.com and enter the promo code FM Talk into the search bar at the top of the page, you'll be able to order an amazing gift for Dad for Father's Day. Dad's favorite gift package for just $99.99. Plus, you'll get 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers with your order. These burgers taste like a steak on a bun. They're ultra lean, packed with a bold, intense beefy flavor. Save over 60% on the Dad's favorite grill package. You get all kinds of stuff. 4 bacon wrap fillets, 4 premium air chilled boneless chicken breasts, 4 boneless pork chops, 4 gourmet jumbo franks, 4 made from scratch caramel apple tartlets, and Omaha Steaks seasoning as well. Plus the 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers for just $99.99. Visit omahasteaks.com, enter into the search bar FM Talk, you can't miss it, and get Dad's favorite grill pack for just $99.99 plus those 8 Omaha Steaks burgers. That's omahasteaks.com, enter the promo code FM Talk.
Today's Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll is asking, do you think the 2024 GOP vice president candidate is currently in the race, yes or no? I'm about to deliver those results. The time is 2:46. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Tuesday afternoon, newly appointed St. Louis Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore drops by for a visit.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him even though you can. Your beauty is beyond compare. The flaming locks of auburn hair with ivory skin and eyes of
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Wiggins America at 12:45 was phrases you may be using that are not cool anymore, and it was a great segment. Psych. So this was
that was super funny. Not.
I want to throw. If you want to hear that, you can go to the Odyssey app and rewind to 12:45, or check the Annie Frey Show podcast wherever you get your podcast from. Real quick here, we've got 2 parents in the room. And we've all been children before. So here is a mom from Scary Mommy sharing 7 phrases adult children need to hear from their parents.
Once you're an adult, you still need to hear this.
Adult children need to hear this from your parents. So we're all adults right now. These are things that we should be hearing right now from our parents. And I'm curious if any of you have heard these things or if your parents are listening right now, if you'd like them to call you after the show is over and say these things to you.
Okay.
I'm so proud to be your parent.
Yeah, I hear that commonly.
Is that what your wife says?
People on the bus say that to me. It's really weird.
Is that what JB Pritzker says to you?
Anytime somebody says that to me on the bus, I'm like, I really need to get my own car.
Your parents ever tell you they're proud of you as a grown person?
I think so.
Do you think they're proud of you?
I think so. My dad always, same thing every time. Just get a job. And I'm like,
still? Is he telling you that now?
Yeah,
man, that kind of hurts.
Yeah, I know.
Does he tell you to move out too?
Why don't you do something real with your life, Ryan?
Yeah, why don't you go build something?
Sit around here eating my food, always in my refrigerator.
Hannah, have you heard from your parents? Has your mom said to you that she's proud of you?
Yes, Mom all the time is in support and says she's proud of me.
Brad?
Yeah, they tell me.
Now, your dad tells me he's proud of me all the time.
Shut up!
I believe that.
Takes me under his wing, literally. Arm, but not like wing, but he takes me aside and he's like, let me buy you a drink. I'm really proud of you.
Here's your virgin pina colada.
I'm like, thanks.
Oh. My dad actually just told me last weekend that he was proud of me. I don't get that a lot from my parents. I know they are proud of me, but we are not. Being centennials, the older millennials, we're all born in the early 80s, except for Hannah, who is 21. It's not really like a super communicative parent-child relationship. Words weren't required to be said when we were growing up the way blogs tell you that they are now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for any parenting choices I made that hurt you.
Oh, gosh.
Never heard that.
I mean, if it's really bad, I guess it'd be a good thing to hear. But.
No, but this is like every adult child, according to scarymommy.com.
Every adult child
needs to hear, I'm sorry for any parenting choices I made that hurt you.
No.
These sound like such sterile conversations, too.
I'm here to listen if you want to tell me about it.
No.
If my parents actually said these things, I would think that they had been taken over by AI.
Or the feds. If you would like to speak up, and they lean in with their shirt, and tell me all about how it went down, start from the top, don't leave anything out.
Why are you talking into your collar?
I don't know. I feel like this is something that Drew Barrymore would say to her guests, was just like crawl up on her knees.
I just want you to know, no matter what you did, I'm so proud to be your parent. Here's another one.
Drew.
Does Bob Wiggins walk up to you and go, "You're incredibly precious to me"?
Well, he doesn't walk up to me, but when we're just hanging out, yes.
Just casual.
Yeah.
Hannah?
Precious?
Precious. I'm just reading what...
Does Bob Wiggins say that to you?
Yeah. Nope. Not everybody gets the Chuck treatment, Ryan. And I'm telling you, not everybody.
Which is weird, because I'm so used to it.
Shut up. I will always love you no matter what. Now I can only think of my dad telling you these things. I will always love you no matter what.
I'm actually picturing Hannah's mom saying this to all of us.
She would.
Because she would.
She would.
What is all this no matter what stuff? To me, this is adult parents whose children are like huge Joe Biden fans.
Yeah. If they said, "I will always love you no matter what,"
what are we talking about
what
here?
did I do? What's the problem here? That's not coming off the way that you intended.
Is what I'm.
Brad, your parents come up to you and say, "My life changed for the better because you were in it." Do you need to hear that?
No, I don't need to hear that.
Wouldn't mind a birthday card though. You know, come on.
Here you go, Ryan. Your worth is not determined by your productivity, job title, or your relationship status. Man, these kids these days are soft.
So they want your parent to come up to you and say, "Son or daughter, your worth is not determined by your productivity or relationship status."
Ryan literally said his dad just says to him, "Get a better job."
No, not a better job. Just get a job.
Get a job.
I'm going to get a text after this.
Nobody. I'm not going to speak for Hannah because she's younger and it is a different generation. But at least the three of us have not been sitting around waiting for someone to tell us if we're worthy people. And anybody who came up to tell me that, you guys know me enough I'd be like, I'm good.
You get really uncomfortable whenever I tell you you're a gem, which I often do off air because it's fun to see you squirm.
Last one. Bob Wiggins sits down with Ryan, puts his arm around him, and says, "Tell me about your hopes and dreams for your life. I want to know more about what matters to you."
This is written by a Gen Z adult. This is a joke. Somebody is writing this and laughing. There's no way.
TikTok creator Barb Schmidt.
Oh, Barb. Barb. Get your Barb Schmidt out of here.
It's a bunch of Barb Schmidt. That's what we're going to say.
It is a bunch of Barb Schmidt.
I mean, if your parents are the type of people who say this to you, that's good for you. But you're probably used to it. We wouldn't be.
Yeah. I will take one thing away from that article. One thing I will be telling my adult children in the future is get your Barb Schmidt out of here.
I've had enough of your Barb Schmidt. I said what I said. Now go do it.
Get a job.
Tommy, I'm
Dad, I'm an electrical engineer. Get a job.
Get a better one. Don't embarrass the family. Should we do the poll?
Oh, that scares me.
Hannah, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Hannah just jumped out of her skin.
I did.
But I want you to know.
Holy smokes.
I'm here to listen if you want to tell me about it.
What are your hopes and dreams?
Woo! Okay. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, do you think the 2024 GOP vice president candidate is currently in the race? Yes or no? We have 188 votes on
Who's that?
D minus.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We have 188
Hannah, I
votes
will always
on the
love
poll.
you no matter what.
69% of the people
Your mom said that, not me. I'm disappointed in you.
think that the
You're a gem,
2024 GOP... Stop! 69% of the people voted yes, the 2024 GOP vice president candidate is currently in the race. 31% of the people think that they are not. So that is interesting.
Ryan was assuredly a no. I said no. Brad, you said yes.
I said yes.
And Hannah?
I voted no.
You voted no? All right. Crazy.
69% of the people voted yes. 31% of the people voted no.
Thank you
about
for the results, Hannah. You're an American treasure.
a gem, some may say.
Let's let
well,
the
great.
real,
Now the
let's let-
poll's skewed because someone said, I saw no but answered yes, so change the vote. Oh, great.
Throw it out. Start over.
Mark Reardon Show coming up next on 97.1 FM Talk. Tomorrow on the Annie Frey Show, we've got a big announcement about something that the show is going to be doing. I'm very excited about this, even a little nervous about it. So you're going to want to tune in tomorrow to find out, where is the show going now? We've been to Disney World. Going to do something a little bit different next, and we'll give you that info tomorrow on the Annie Frey Show. A fun Friday ahead of us. I don't know what's going to happen in the news. I never do, but we'll have it for you here on 97.1 FM Talk the whole way through. The Mark Reardon Show, next.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other business